but these bitches in my business call me out to choosing violence. If you see me out in public, you don't know me, keep it silent. In the bedroom, I be screaming, but outside I keep it quiet. Get all risky, I'm the lowest of the lowest. But if you can keep it, ain't nobody knows shit. I need you to get the fuck on my space. The placements on the way, please don't play. Once he's spit like a great escape. I need no drink, gold eyes don't change. I'm fucking out and making love no more. Got a new bitch, what the fuck you crying for? I'm moving strong, calling on my favorite. I know how to reach me every time that it plays in my. We rise at first night, we commit empire. Why you belong, I don't say good spot. We can't be outside cause I'm not against you. And I'm on your mind. Whatever you want, don't call me. Ain't nothing sudden, I like to get it poppin'. But these bitches in my business got me out to choosing violence. If you see me out in public, you don't know me, keep it silent. In the bedroom, I be screaming, but outside I keep it quiet. Get out of ski, I'm the lowest of the lowest. But if you can keep it, ain't nobody knows shit. Get out of ski, I'm the lowest of the lowest. But if you can keep it, ain't nobody knows shit. I need total confidential private shit. I don't want no thinking I'm a robot. The time zones change, now we on the first class trip. Don't work my nerves, you know I can hold it. We fucking, we ain't making love no more. You talk that talk, but ain't no matching quiz. So struggle with me. Whatever you need, don't call me. Calling on the side of me, I like to get it poppin'. But these bitches in my business got me out to choosing violence. If you see me out in public, you don't know me, keep it silent. In the bedroom, I be screaming, but outside I keep it quiet. Keep it out of ski, I'm the lowest of the lowest. But if you can keep it, ain't nobody knows shit. Keep it out of ski, I'm the lowest of the lowest. But if you can keep it, ain't nobody knows shit.
What's going on, everybody? Another day in paradise. This is Saturday, December the 21st, 2024. At the tail end of 2024, so everything is good, everything's gravy. And the title of the stream is Bantu Hegemony Expands Primarily Through Bastardization. Now, the inspiration for this stream and what the material I'm going to talk about is from a follower supporter over on TikTok who's within the kind of like Dominican spaces. And they sent me a couple videos over on TikTok from a content creator. They wanted me to basically kind of, they were sharing some thoughts with me about how there's a very typical trend we see with a lot of these kind of, these like content creators, and they have like street interviews, if I'm saying that right. Like they go in the public and ask random people questions. Kind of, isn't that what, like Just Pearly Things did? And like the whole Hawk Tua girl, right? With some black dude who like was asking random chicks questions, sexual questions, I might add. It's very common, but they do that. And then like we see with like, there's black guys who will go out in public and ask random chicks, what do you prefer, dark skin or light skin? Like no other race of man asks these random chicks these questions. You prefer us? We're dark skin. Or do you like the light skin guys? Don't say light skin. You're gonna make me feel bad, right? And so, yes, I this person sent me a couple clips. We were talking about it, and they kind of encouraged me and said, hey, why don't you do a live stream about it? Sure, why not? Why not? Because it is something useful to talk about, and also because we can analyze a strategy when we examine the gaslighting, right? And also to the influence that they try to exhibit. And it goes into their philosophies with the whole seed of your father, you the seed of your father. That's all tied in to this Bantu expansion in the whole bastardization process, right? Why they're really pushing that seed of your father, because they want the ability to sleep with every woman who's non-black, but still claim the mixed kids as being black, even when they're not, when they're absent, when they're not present, because that's the sad part, like with the bastardization. They want to bastardize. I'm not saying all, but I'm saying the ones who do. You guys can look at the numbers. I mean, it happens in the United States. It happens even in their own communities with their own women, their own group. When they have like over 75+% out of wedlock birth rate, a lot of, that trend is going to continue with these other groups. So what I'm saying is, like, with this whole CDO fada argument, see, even if they're not even quote unquote fathers in the household, right, being present, spending money for tutoring for their kids or for sports practice, you do have good fathers, good black fathers like Serenus and Venus and Serenus Williams' father, who helped them become champions and stuff like that. He was present, right? I forgot the gentleman's name. They did a movie about him. It was a good movie. Will Smith played it. I forgot the cat's name, but he was there in their life. And even Michael Jordan. You have championship level people. Their fathers were there. Even like Floyd Mayweather, stuff like that. So you have these type of caliber individuals who they did have good fathers in their household who helped them, dedicated their time with them with tutoring and stuff like that. And and you see the results, right? But those are the special cases. That's not the majority of the case. So what I'm saying is that this whole seedier fodder argument, and I'm saying it like that, CDO fodder, it's this bastardization process, and the strategy is to gain influence and hegemony over using that argument. So it gives them justification to sleep with other women and and other women who are outside of their group, but still claim this type of weird like pro blackness or authenticity. Like even a couple years ago, I was watching a stream from J4 Conversations, and he had one of his buddies on the show, and it was a black guy, one of his friends, and the dude had like he was talking about this black biracial bullshit, okay, which is basically black identified mixed people, which is very common in the United States. And he was talking to this guy, and this black guy, dark skinned Bantu guy, he had a African hat on. He had a hat on, and this was like a live stream, right? And J4's mulatto, and his buddy was Bantu, and he had the African hat on. And then like this guy, this Bantu guy, he had mixed kids. That's why he's pushing this whole black biracial bullshit. And I was laughing. I put a comment in the live stream. It was like, it's so typical. You're so proud to be black. You got an African fucking cap on, but you couldn't find an African woman. You got a mixed kid. So very typical. I put a comment, and of course it kind of, made people think a certain way, but I'm just here reporting the news, pointing this out. Like, we see that that's what it is with this whole seedier father argument. They want to claim the black is dominant, or people are going to see you as black. No, people are going to see you as biracial. Okay, especially Bantus. When you go in their territory where they're the majority, they're going to see you as not being a part of their tribe. Rightfully so. It's great. My whole position here is for us to develop our tribe. It's already developed. We just have to strengthen it and fortify it, because we're going to have a lot of interlopers and saboteurs who want to destroy our entire operation. They're going to be unsuccessful with a guy like me. All they're going to do is boast me up, promote me. My influence will only grow for the amount of effort I put into this shit. I'm even thinking like with 2025, man, if I go into this like full time, like this is only going to grow. This is only going to grow. And by the way, I'm over here on the shadow band account. Just want to let you guys know that this is still an operational page. This Mulatto, this is where it all started, this Mulatto Vanguard channel. But, when you go back and forth with idiots and knuckleheads and other content creators, and I learned along the way what type of material you can put up, and you can't put up, which will get you kind of reported when you have a community guidelines strike. And then, the algorithm within YouTube, they don't promote your channel as much. They feel like it's too risky, so they move on to the other millions of channels they could promote, right? So with my channel, it's kind of this one right here. It's not gonna get so much segue, but that's okay. It's still here. It's still operational, and I'll let you guys know what's up. So yeah, let's start here with some community notes. Let's start here. Then I'll go into the main stuff, the whole strategy of the bastardization. Just basically, I posted this on my community wall like 10 hours ago. It says right here. And this is over on Tick Thought. I put Tick Thought is shadow banning mulattoes for telling the truth. All I put was precisely only mixed people can pass. Blacks can only pass for blacks, which is facts. When they talk about like black people passing, a dark skinned Bantu cannot pass for anything else but an African. Okay. I don't understand. Like, everyone knows this is true, but they only want to play stupid with you to trick your ass, to try to trick you to make you think you don't have options out here in this wide world, around the planet. That you don't have options, that you just gotta be maintained as a subordinate and follow the rules that their white massa gave them. Oh, they gonna remind you use a black, right? You got guys like Phil Advice Show and all these other idiots, these Afrocentrics who push that crap. They always adhere to their white masses policies. Oh, they gonna remind you. The police gonna let you know. You got to get away from these type of individuals who push that rhetoric, that little slave mindset, slave catcher rhetoric. My white master is gonna let you know you a black like me, so you got to put up with my bullshit, right? All I did was I put here, yeah, only mixed people can pass. Like, this idea of passing. Like, if you're black, you're just black. Like, the one drop rule is not black history, African American history. It's mulatto history. Okay. Just like Barack Obama is mulatto history. Even you could say he's a tool for sure. He's a stooge, okay, for the establishment, sure. But it's still that's a mulatto individual. Hence mulatto history. Okay. Right. And so this is the whole point, is that they shadow ban this. And I appealed it, and they basically were like, no, we determine it violates their community standards. See, this is like the most suppressive platform, is TikTok. That's why I love streaming over here on YouTube, even though this channel here, like I said, it was shadow banned, but primarily because going back and forth with these other stupid idiots who are, black identified, Blackistani rejects, mulattoes trying to find their way to serve blacks. You bump heads with them, and then you know, it is what it is. That was like back in 2023. I'm on a whole new trajectory now, but I'm still letting you know this channel's operational. And so I like YouTube is a better platform. Instagram, good reach as well. But yeah, the TikTok stuff, it's just at this point it's ridiculous. You just laugh. That's why I don't post that much. Even on Instagram, I don't really post as much. Even on YouTube, I mean, shit, guys, I'm hopping up here on a Friday, Saturday evening, just chilling, because I got a full-time job and a part-time and side gigs. I'm doing other stuff out here to survive, just like all of you guys, right? This isn't like a full-time endeavor or a business yet, but there's a lot of potential with this. The whole point is that TikTok is shadow banning us, and for something so simple like this, and I'm not the only mulatto. There's another guy who's basically encountering the same thing over on TikTok. And I just encourage people, go to other platforms, man. I mean, TikTok, the chips are stacked against you. They're super anti-mulatto. They're pro-black, pro-Bantu, all this other crap, right? Pro-gay. They're not pro-white on TikTok. On X, they are. Since Elon picked up the app, TikTok has positioned itself to be pro-white. Okay, so they got their app there because they've been crying for years about how biased social media is. Well, they got an app now, so I don't know. But the mulattoes, you got to find out what works for you. And as we can see with TikTok, and the thing is, they got so many like blacks who are racist talking shit about mulattoes. And when all you do is respond to their bigotry and their black racism, and then they cry, it's just, it's amazing. You got to laugh at it. That's why to me, I just match people's energy. All they can do is cry. You match their energy. That's it. Moving on to next one. What confused self-hating biracial people who quote unquote pick a side think they see when they look in the mirror. Yeah, this shit's hilarious. I didn't make this meme. I saw this circulating in some of the mulatto spaces over on Facebook, and I kind of picked it up and shared it because it's pretty spot on and funny. You look at it. some mixed guy who's you picked a side. I know I got a white mama, and a lot of these whites, they're racist, saying mean things to me. So, you know, and they look in the mirror and they think they're like some dark skinned Bantu. Nah, bro, you're mixed. Doesn't matter if the whites don't like you or the blacks, you're still mixed. Biologically, it's just science. Culturally, I mean, I don't know. You want to be like a J. Cole type of guy and act all hood. You gotta get the dreadlocks. You gotta blacken it up, just try to fit in. That's what you people do. I see you. Gotta talk extra ghetto just to fit in, even though you light skinned and you mixed, right? you know, this is pretty funny. I like this meme. Shout out to all the mulattoes, the ones who ever created it and was sharing all this, because this is pretty funny. Okay. Shout out to Patrick we have here. I'm going to link his or tag his channel in this video, this live stream. I often share a lot of Patrick's posts, his community posts, because he's spot on with a lot of his analysis, talking about this Bantu degeneracy that we see and calling it out. And he's a straight shooter, calls a spade, and he's basically straight up with no chaser. And I appreciate Patrick as well, because he's on camera. He's cammed up, talking, standing behind what he says. We need more guys like him and like me and others who are going to stand on business, basically. Stand on business. I mean, I see too many of these mulattoes and mulattas who are straight punks and cowards, and they wonder why I'm not really trying to like work with them. If you're hiding behind an avatar, I don't want to be on camera. I don't, and it's like, okay, you can send me your links and we can whatever talk and coordinate, but I'm not really gonna, I don't trust you. If you don't have the decency to even like be on camera and show the world this is me, I'm mulatto, this is what I believe. It's like with a guy like me, there's too many people in this world. That's why you see me in these other countries. And when I'm talking business with these other mulattas and people around, like, this is real shit. If you're gonna play this little internet game and hide behind an avatar and oh, I support a mulatto category and mulatto identity, but I don't want to show my face. I'm like, there's other people you can talk to. Go work with them. Okay. A guy like me out here, I don't trust you. I don't have time for it. So I respect Patrick. Dude's on camera talking his shit. And I respect that. And I like that. I like the fact that it's a straight up no chaser as well. But and he, like I said, he points out the degeneracy, the hypocrisy. The fact is, we see a lot of Bantus are coddled, and primarily we see that's why the whole divestor BS is all fugazi, all BS. These divestors, they worship and coddle and literally eat the shit from dark skinned black males. Every single one of these divestors are all lying scammers. They all worship black males. They're just temporarily disgruntled and upset at their results. And they want to try to make the black male jealous by getting a white guy. Nobody cares, ho. Like, nobody cares. That's the funny part, because the black guys are go passport bros going around the planet, getting random chicks. They're not my group. They're not my people. It's not my community. I don't know what else to tell you. All that dysfunction, I don't want that crap, basically infesting the spaces we're trying to create. And yeah, so we see this black female here who's basically going to defend, because Patrick calls out the degeneracy from a dark-skinned Bantus. And then, you know, this female here is like, based on the title alone, I'm not sure how to feel about a light-skinned brother pointing out alleged dark-skinned behavior. See, it's only a problem now that the light-skinned brothers and the mixed brothers, right, that we're calling their ass out. Now it's a problem. See, I was quiet for a long time. I sat behind the scenes. I heard people talking about biracials are confused. The mulatto problem, Chancellor Williams, the mulattoes have always sided with white supremacy against the blacks. I've heard these savages spread these lies and conspiracies and propaganda for years. I didn't say anything. I just sat there and watched their videos. I was like, interesting. You're going to do us dirty like that? We helped your ass out of chains and you're literally going to do us like that? Spread this false propaganda on us? Okay. Nobody ever said it was divisive back then. Nobody ever said it was. Don't make the light skin jokes. No, they think it's okay to do that because you have perceived privileges in society. You're perceived to have privileges and preferences. So it's okay for them to haze you and mock you and talk ish. They're just leveling the playing field, according to them. So yeah, so like I'm saying, it's not divisive when they're talking crap about you being a light-skinned man. You're weak, soft, and sassy. But when see, either way, it's like, look, they'll tell you you're weak, soft, and sassy. But on the flip side, once you match their energy, then they say you're anti-black, you're a white supremacist. I don't give a damn what you people call me. I'm gonna let you know when I deal with you on the internet or off the internet. Okay, I'm gonna get mines out here when I deal with you, boy. Okay, I'm gonna get mines out here. You can say whatever the hell you want, and I got my stuff I'll say too. That's cool. Okay, but you're dealing with a different cat over here. And I like Patrick's approach, like I said, just straight up. And you're pointing out the hypocrisy that these individuals, because they raise them, okay, these boys, and that the fact is that they're coddled. They think they can do no harm. They think it's acceptable to be a degenerate, a hood booger, gangbanger. They think it's acceptable and to try to bastardize other groups, try to create more of us. And they want to like trick us and like label us as black so they can use us as pawns to attack like white people or some shit. We're not doing that over here. Not over in this spot. And he's like, this is funny. Let me continue on. Puts our community is divided enough as it is. Yeah, your community is divided. Yeah. See, it's only division and a problem when we clap back and match that energy. See, then we're out of bounds. But they talk all this shit about you. You know, Drake is soft and light skinned. You're weak and light skinned. Okay, if we say you're savage and dark skinned, you're criminal and dark skinned, oh, you're being divisive. You sound anti-black. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you say. This ain't your spot. Go somewhere else. Oh, it sounds like the Blue Vein Society brown paper bag. Okay, and okay, you got your own little spots, the whack authority and Tariq fraud sheed. You got your own little grifters and spots where you can cry about white people and talk shit about mulattoes. You got your spots. Have fun. Why are you coming over here? We got our spots now. See, but it's the thing is like someone on my other live stream was talking about this where it's like they want the ability to be included in everyone else's space and everyone else's business. They want full inclusion. They want to be included in everyone's crap, but they want their own exclusive spaces, right? Like even in the universities, they have the commencement speeches. I believe that's what's called, like during graduation. They have like separate black like commencement speeches. Even at the school I went to, they had a whole like, and the black student population was like 5%. It's what they call a PWI. It was like mostly I called it white girl heaven because especially the major that I was in, because it was all white girls, you know. So I kind of joke call it white girl heaven because it's like, yeah, 40% white and it's mostly female because women dominate majority population within the academia universities today in today's world. And so there weren't a lot of blacks at the school the university I went to. And even then, with the small population of blacks, they still had their own little, black commencement speech, graduation space. And it's like, see, they want their own separate shit to exclude people. But if white people did that, that they would whine and they would say it's like white supremacy or it's a Klan rally or something. But that's how they operate. And they operate like that with you, with mulattoes. I'm speaking about. They want to exclude you from their pro whack, pro dark skin Bantu spaces. They want to say you got a white mom, you don't belong here, you're half white or something like that, you don't fit in, you're not like us, right? The Bantus want to exclude you from their spaces, but when you develop a space, create a space, all of a sudden they just want like carte blanche treatment, full access. It's the Blue Vein Society, okay? And right, our community is divided enough. Yeah, it's only divided now that we're basically matching the energy. Now it's division. Yeah, I got it. However, I'll listen to the whole thing for better understanding. Let me read Patrick's response because I like this. He puts here, ladies and gentlemen, read. You see how these grown black girls still get offended when a light-skinned man talk about their precious grown dark-skinned baby boys? Yeah, because they coddle these dark skins. I mean, these boys. How is it that all this hip hop degeneracy? You got Da Baby and all these other characters. They all defend Sean P. Diddy Holmes and R. Kelly. They were all defending what's his name, Bill Cosby or Pill Cosby. Like they always defend the dark skinned Bantu male, always, right? But they're not going to defend Drake. They'll lie on Drake, try to slander him, destroy his career. That's what they do, right? Who else are they defending? Who else? So they got P Diddy and who? Who else? You take your pick. It doesn't matter. They're gonna, if they're dark skinned Bantu boy, they're gonna defend him, and the women will defend him. Okay, because that's who's raising them. It says, remember, we are not allowed to talk about their kings and their ghettos. Exactly. See, that's why I share this guy's commentary, because he's spot on with every, like I said, he's a straight shooter as well. I like his delivery, his approach. It's effective and it needs to be said that way. And yeah, it's going to ruffle feathers. People aren't going to like it. Tough. They can go elsewhere. They can go back to their pro-wax spaces and cry about white people, which they always do, and blame mulattoes and shit. You know, we've been hearing all that crap for years. Well, you think I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna sit there and continue to listen to it. I just bounced, said, see you later. I'll go where I can get some good entertainment or I can, learn something, and I'll just do my own shit. I'm good. What the hell? Puts here, they can get beat by them, right? Cursed out by them, become baby mamas, 75+%. They'll still defend them. You even got the biracial hood boogers, the biracial baby mamas got kids by them. Their baby mama struggling to pay for school supplies and rent. They're still going to defend them. They're still going to run around saying, oh, they sound anti-black. It's because, bitch, you got black kids. Like, that's on you, not on me. Why are you over here? Like, if you're going to get easily offended, like, you're in the wrong spot, lady. Like, you got black kids. You want to, be a part of the black community. You want acceptance by them. As a mixed woman, if you want acceptance by blacks in their community, you got to be a baby mama by them. You chose that route. Don't get mad at me for pointing out the facts. Okay. Calling people anti-black and trying to cape for the blacks. Have fun. I mean, I already understand that your whole operation is going to be basically nothing but black males. I've been studying these mixed spaces for a hot minute, for at least a few years. And I look at these female-led pages, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, especially talk about the golden sphere. It's a mixed female, and you look at the audience members, you see nothing but black guys in there. You're like, what the fuck? Not even mixed guys. And then they'll sit there and try to act like, oh, the mixed guys don't support us. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. And you have a guy like me out here who's traveling, talking to people, conducting interviews. Yeah, it's, falls flat. No, the mixed guys have always supported mixed women. It's just, if you're not going to see something reciprocated, you're going to move on. You got other options. Okay. Like I said, with this whole golden sphere shit, and you see with these mixed women, biracial baby mamas, whatever the hell they are, they got nothing but black males in their channel, and they get their moderators, and you're like, what the fuck? This doesn't make any sense. So it's like, if that's the community you're a part of, why are you doing this mix shit? Something's not adding up, right? So like I said, even the black females will coddle the dark-skinned Bantu, but even mixed women who have kids by them will coddle them, and they won't say a word if the dark-skinned Bantu talks about biracial males. They won't say a word. It's only when they start talking about biracial women, then they have an issue, because then now they feel that they're basically attacked or something like that. Right? He puts here, ridiculed by them and even sent to the other world. And these buffoons will still defend their coddled. He capitalizes coddled because that's the key thing. They're coddled. That's why these black boys, they're super coddled. And like I said, they can guilt trip the Anglos with white guilt, make them feel, some white people feel guilty, like they owe the Bantu something because they've enslaved them, gave them their name, you know, Johnson, Jackson, Evans, whatever, Smith, you name it. And so, and then they feel like, yeah, that they basically controlled them for years, shit on them, mocked them. And so they kind of feel sorry. They feel pity, okay, for the former slaves. So a lot of whites are, they're able to guilt trip them. That's what this whole exclusionary space is, where a lot of whites, these Anglos, are secretive when they exclude the sub-Saharan African, right? They're very secretive about it, how they do it, and they have different methods, you know. Or back what in the 50s, prior to that, they had no color, sign on the in institutions or businesses, but they have different methods now to seclude themselves from the from other unwanted groups. But they're able to guilt them with that, right? That's what it is. And so, yeah, in some ways, they'll kind of coddle them publicly. We'll see that, but nobody coddles them more than the black female. Which, okay, that's your female counterpart, okay, but where the hell are the successful families? Like, why are all these problems, these gangs, and this not even just the gangs? Because I don't live in an area where there's gangs, but it's just the culture that we see that's being promoted. Degenerate, no respect for authority or no respect for the elders, degenerate, savage culture. Where do we see that, right? Who's raising them? Well, this is who's raising them right here. This is the one who's caping for them, coddling them. That's who's raising them. Yeah. No hope, no change. Do me a favor, unsubscribe from my channel. I told you I'm not a part of your community, never was. Exactly. For me, and he capitalized this. I was never a part of their community. I think that's why I bumped heads with a lot of these like golden sphere fucktards, because what I realized is the golden sphere was like a weird kind of mixture, pun intended, of like blacks who pretended to be light skinned. You have someone who's blacker than fucking Shaquille O'Neal trying to act like they're light skin or they're brown skin. It was really stupid and weird, and I got annoyed with it. And then you have like light skinned blacks, but they're just black. Like they're raised around blacks. That's your group, your culture. Okay. And then you had a lot of mulattoes and biracials who identified as black, or like this whole term that I reference MGM that I discovered with some of the spaces. I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah, both their parents are mixed, or both their parents are mulatto, but the generational thing is significant because you were raised in a generation where these older cats are like, you're just black identified. You didn't even start calling yourself mixed until like you heard about the golden sphere. We all know it. We all know it. The future is golden, and the rest of them. Okay, we already know it. You barely started calling yourself mixed 2 years ago. You guys are just black. Like that's the way I perceived it when I found these spaces and these people. I'm analyzing information. I'm like, what the hell? We're not the same. So that's why I feel like for me, see, I'm not a part of your community, you people. Not a part of your community. I never will be. I'm not a part of your group. So like you're dealing with a different guy here. You can say whatever, all the accusations and false slander, you're an incel and blah, blah, blah. People are still going to want to deal with me. I'm still going to move forward. It's like, I'm just not going to move forward with you. Okay. The culture that you people promote, and you know who I'm talking to, the ones who I'm talking to. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. Like the culture you people promote, the baby mamas, the hating on mulatto men. Like I'm not a part of your people's group. Never was, never will be. I was not raised around you. That's why for me, it was so bizarre when I started to navigate these black spaces or pro-black, whatever, and I saw the type of hate they're spreading about mulattoes. I'm like, well, hold up. This doesn't make any damn sense. Like the people who helped you savages get out of slavery, you're spreading conspiracies about them, spreading propaganda about them, saying, don't trust them. They're going to side with whites. I'm like, why are you mulattoes even dealing with them? There's enough of you out here. Even if there's a minimal amount of you guys got to work together and build something. Why is it that other minority groups can do that? We have more mulattoes in the United States of America than East Indians. But yet East Indians can develop a whole voting block, a whole business class. Now, granted, they have a home base with over 1 billion people. And they have, a manufacturing kind of network and industry and etc. They can get plugged into markets pretty quickly. They dominate the hotel motel industries, taxis, convenience stores. There's a lot of industries that they have a advantage in. Granted, But their numbers, we look at it like, if they can do it, we can do it too. It doesn't make any sense. Like, we have mulattoes in Brazil, Dominican Republic. We can have home bases, Cape Verde, South Africa, even in the UK. We have mulattoes all over the planet. It makes no sense to sit here and to think that you can accept a shitty deal from some of these ungrateful bastards that we encounter every day. Like I said, I was never conditioned to accept this shit because I'm not a part of their community. I'm not a part of their group. There was a time when I identified with them. I gave it a shot. I felt sorry for them, like a lot of people do. They feel sorry for them. Okay, I gave it a shot and it was a complete waste of time. So my job here is to let the younger people know, look, don't waste your time. You don't have to prove them anything. You can read all the books in the world, all the pro-black Afrocentric books. I got a whole library. You can read them all and travel to Africa, do all this stuff. Look, don't waste your time. Embrace the fact that you're mulatto, connect with other mulattoes who are proud of themselves, who like who they are. Things are going to work out good. Shout out to Patrick. I'm going to post his channel here, you guys. Like I said, I love the straight shooter type of, commentary, just straight up, no chaser, no bullshit. Don't even, like for me, trust me, this is, YouTube. I definitely kind of polish my words the best I can, but sometimes, yeah, a lot of times, just got to call a spade a spade. Okay, let me get into the main topic that I want to talk about here, which was some of the TikTok clips that was shared with me from a Dominican. Let me share my screen right now. Shout out to Celine. I see Celine in the chat. Sunny Hostin said about people who didn't vote for Kamala is uneducated and dumb. No one said ish about that. I went on the view. If I went on the View, I wouldn't let anyone black, white, or otherwise talk to me like that. You said, just finished my associate's degree in the new year. I plan to get a full-time job and something, maybe get certified in medical coding. Seeing some black people lose it over this election has been so entertaining, interesting to me. Yeah, that's all the Trump people, the right. That's all. They know they're not going to get shit from Donald Trump being in office. All the people who are like Trump supporters and the right, they just want to troll the fucking lefties. That's all it is. It's like a culture win. It's a culture war. It has nothing to do about policies or anything like that. The whole Trump thing, I see that it's all about just kind of sticking the middle finger to the lefty, like, we won. We won. It's like, okay, you get bragging rights. That's it, bragging rights. But like, you're still going to be broke and poor, like the rest of the blacks and everyone else. Poor whites, poor whites and poor blacks. It's just like a lot of poor whites and other, people on the right just want to basically stick the middle finger at the poor blacks. It goes all the way back to that was it the Bacon's Rebellion? Is that what it was? Bacon's Rebellion back in the 1600s. It's like both of you are both indentured servants. You're still working in the fucking tobacco field, but you're white and you get some more privileges. That's all that shit is. This whole Trump thing, like, you just troll people for your team lost, their team lost. It's like, ugh, this is where you're at, United States of America. Such a great example for the world, I might add. Such a great example. You got your reality TV show president, and then you can take your pick. You had Donald Trump, who's paying porn stars. He's been married and divorced 4 times. This is his 4th wife, and he couldn't even get an American. I thought about this when I was working out the other day. It was kind of funny. I was running to the gym in my workout. I thought about it. I was like, it's funny. Donald Trump, he's so pro-American that he's married to a non-American. You can't make this shit up. Isn't his wife, what's her name, Melania Trump? Isn't she from like Slovenia or something? She's not even an American woman, And you got American women who support this guy, right? That's hilarious. Like, you can't make this shit up, man. You can't make it up. You cannot make it up. He's got so much American female support, and he's not even in bed laying with an American woman. Oh, but she's white enough. See, that's the default code, is that whiteness. Because they need the numbers. That's why they're claiming all these Arabs and Hispanics, right? See, the mulattoes over here, we understand it. See, it's only the Bantus who are trying to get up underneath you and be on your good side and, get a job in HR and all this shit. I have nothing to lose. I see it for what it is. I'm just trying to carve out mine. I'm not trying to, I'm carving mine out here. But the whole left-right paradigm is just, I see that the Republicans and all the people on the right, they can't say anything they want. They just want to troll these fucking libs. Like, that's so hard to do. Anyways, the left, like, it's very bizarre, like this pro-trans shit they're pushing. That's what I saw, was like, it's so bizarre. Like, it's out of touch with like the common folk in society, like this pro-trans rights. Like, I'm not here telling people, to not get a sex change. It's not my business what these people do, but they're trying to put that conversation in the forefront and shit. And like, they're gonna try to say you're transphobic, or if you're a straight man, you don't want to deal with a dude who puts on a wig and that has plastic surgery. Like, what it's so weird, the society that we're in right now. And for me, when I see where it's like this like trans stuff, I feel like is really like with the leftists, they really kind of F themselves up with all that crap. When people talk about radical left, that's kind of what I'm thinking about, is like this pro-trans stuff. Like, how is that a national issue? It's like they don't represent, like I said, this guy, I see the comment here, he puts, this guy didn't do nothing. So we kind of know this guy's angle here with this guy. And you look at his fucking avatars. you know, he got some pookie who's probably gonna get done in by the cops, right? By his white massa, who he loves, right? Remember, they love their white massa. And he puts here 10.2% are mixed who identify as black. Oh yeah. Yeah, all these mixed people who mulattoes who identify as black, and then wonder why the Anglos hate them. Anglos are going to hate you anyways because they're competing for power. But you notice even with other groups they go to war with, they still are able to kind of develop treaties and agreements and allegiances, like with China and these Asian nations, even in the Middle East. They can go to war. They've been going to war with these Arabs in the Middle East for 1,000 years with the Crusades. But why is it when the Arabs come to the United States, they allow the Arabs to assimilate and become Anglos by default? You guys just saw Anna Kasparian, the Armenian, when she was with Glenn Beck. People were talking about with the leftists and how the young Turks are now switching and they're now trying to do the whole Republican right-wing grift. And you have Shank, the the young Turks, they're fucking Armenian. They're Arabs. I saw this when I went to Africa. I was going to make a whole video talking about this, as well as a side note, just of how, yeah, the Anglos, they need the Arabs as a numerical advantage. Even though they've been going to war with these people for 1,000 years. Now they're claiming the Arabs. You look at the Caucasian definition, it says Northern Africa, the Middle East, and Europe, of course. Now they're trying to claim the mestizos as Anglos. They need numbers. Okay. My whole thing is I'm telling the mulattoes, look, when you deal with this Bantu owes you. You don't owe them shit. They're trying to position you to where you owe them to be in their little group where you're a minority. Why don't you do your own shit? I don't get it. But they want to be cool. They want to act cool. Have fun. My whole thing is, yeah, just have fun over there. Have fun. Tell me how it is. I'll be over here doing what I'm doing, talking my shit. So, like I said, Dominican supporter, follower, subscriber, whatnot, sent me this clip. I thought it was pretty interesting. And we're going to talk about just the strategy and methods that a lot of these kind of Bantu content creators do on social media to try to, their whole method of expanding their influence and hegemony is primarily through bastardization. They want to bastardize and ruin these other women, these other races of women, as a way to kind of conquer the male groups, but also expand influence and try to pretend and claim that their child's black. Like you look at a Patrick Mahomes, the Bantus fucked that up. Patrick Mahomes married a white woman, has got white kids, or quadroon kids for the purist out there, the little Aryan purist. They're 25%, whatever. They look white to the rest of the world, okay? And so yeah, they screwed up with that one. They're trying to push the whole black gene is dominant. You look at Patrick Mahomes, he's kind of destroyed that whole false narrative. Even look at a title with this guy. He puts black men versus Dominican men. That's his little clickbaity title. But aren't they trying to say, and I pointed this out to the person who shared this to me. So what this idiot is doing, and this content creator here with the microphone, what he's basically doing is he's letting the world know Dominicans aren't black. They have some black Dominicans. They're a minority. And you have a lot of Haitians who are pretending to be Dominican. That's another key thing. Some dark-skinned Bantu speaking Spanish. and they're born in Dominican Republic, but their parents are from Haiti. That's a Haitian. Okay, that's a first generation. That's a Haitian. Okay, so and that's what Dominicans are fighting for right now. They're basically trying to, establish their own. They're trying to not establish. They're trying to preserve their identity and their integrity of their group. Because most of the Dominicans I talk, they acknowledge that they have mulattoes, mestizo. They're a blend of Taino, Spanish, and some African. But then they have these like dark-skinned Bantus from Haiti who are trying to claim that they're just as Dominican. Yeah, I guess. There are some I saw when I was over in the DR. And you can tell, like, even his dude's dark skin, but his hair texture, it doesn't have like afro, like, and then like his facial symmetry. Like he's admixed, like he doesn't have the same nose, bone structure, and cheekbones and lips. Like, yeah, he's dark skin. He has probably significant over 85, whatever, 80% African, but this dude's got some other stuff going on. Dominican dude, right? So yeah, you do have blacks there in the DR that they're Dominican, etc. But yeah, there's a difference. And this American guy is letting you know, black men versus Dominican men. None of my commentary I ever put verse, but I had some idiot Bantu who was like, "Oh, see, you're making it black men versus mulatto. Why don't you put white verse and blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "Where in any of my posts have you seen verse?" I basically say mulatto, Bantu. You guys know what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can just kind of remind you guys in a moment when I have these posts, because I had some idiot who put a stupid comment who was basically like, "Oh, you're doing it verse. You're doing it the black verse, the mulatto." It's like, where the hell did I put the verse at? I don't recall putting verse anywhere. Let me go to my channel, guys. I'm just gonna scroll down to get to it. And then I'll continue on with this clip with the main meat of the matter, as I like to say. So I'm going to go to my channel, my other channel, okay, Mulatto History Channel. And look at this. And I'm like, colored multiracial Bantu. Nowhere I put is I expressed the difference. There's no verse. But I had some knucklehead who's like, "You're making it verse. You're doing this. It's mulatto verse." Well, where the hell is the verse at? Let me do another post I saw. Not I saw, that I made. Look at another post I made. Mulatta Bantu. There's no verse. I'm just like, we're different than you. Put us side by side. We don't look the same. Another post. This is 3 posts now, guys. And I got the gentleman here, Tom Morello, guitarist from Rage Against the Machine. Then I got the boozy badass, the Bantu degenerate rapper that everybody likes because he's a degenerate savage. And that's what they like. They like being baby mamas, have fun. Just, I'm not going to pay for you. And I put not like them. Yeah, I'm taking what they're trying to put on us, I'm flipping it and putting it back on them. And of course, that's out of bounds. They don't like that. But I'm looking at this sitting here. I didn't put verse anywhere. I just basically put 2 pictures side by side. The whole world knows the difference. You go to Europe, you go to Africa, you go to Asia. Are there people who will basically say you're just like them? Sure. That's on them. Fuck them. Say that to my face, I'll laugh and I'll basically argue and stand my point. And they can't do nothing about that. Yeah, they know damn well we're not the same. So I just pointed it out there basically because it's yeah, there's no verse there. But when you look at this guy here, look at it. He says black men versus Dominican men. So he's being divisive. Oh, but remember, he's a Bantu supporter. Or I'm sorry, he's a quote unquote light-skinned black. He's a light-skinned brother. He's not mulatto. He doesn't identify as mulatto. I got to draw the line right there. Okay. He identifies with Bantus. Okay. That's on you, boy. We're not the same.
Lillian.
What's your ethnicity?
I identify as black and white.
He asked her, "What's your ethnicity?" And and she says she identifies as black and white. Basically mulatto, right? Mulatta. She identifies as black and white. So she identifies being
I identify as black and white. I'm Dominican, but it's not just Hispanics. It's Indian, it's black, it's white. We come from everywhere. All different.
you don't come from everywhere. Okay, you don't come from everywhere. You come from three central groups. Like I said, Taino Indian, which is the indigenous. Now you got Bantus trying to claim they're indigenous. The Haitians, hilarious. So they come from Taino Indians, and then Spanish, Iberian Peninsula, and then African, right? So this particular lady here, who's Dominican, she identifies. She said out of her own mouth, black and white. Now the accent I'm seeing like New York. We gotta understand like the Hispanics and Latinos in the East Coast in New York. It's completely different from the Hispanics where I'm from, the West Coast, where there's mainly Chicano or Mexican, right? American. Completely different because you analyze all the social media and stuff over there on the East Coast. Like they talk like blacks, they act like blacks. So you got all these like Hispanic rappers like Fat Joe or Big Pun or Immortal Technique or these guys like they talk like they're a black. So you gotta know the difference. Like, and yeah, so she says she's black and white. She identifies as that, which is okay. That's cool. So she's one of us. She identifies as one of us, Mulatta. Okay. But this guy here, the way he titled is Black versus Dominican Men. He's gonna try to put a wedge in between her and be like, well, who do you prefer, black men or Dominican men? Well, wait a second. Aren't you Bantus always trying to say Dominicans are black? The only reason why they say that is because they want access to these type of women, that Dominican woman, the non-black woman. It's the same with the Bantu strategy, what they do with the biracial men, with mulatto men. They try to claim the Mulatta women as black because they want access to the women. But when they talk about Drake, well, no, he got a white mom. He was raised in Canada. He not black like me. She ain't from the hood. Some dark-skinned Bantu, like what, Lord Jamar or some other idiot like Kendrick K. Dork, right? One of these dark-skinned Bantu rappers. That's what they say. Oh, Drake, man, he ain't a black man like me. See, they don't respect you to be on their level as a quote-unquote dark-skinned Bantu. They don't respect you. But the women, like a Kendrick Lamoist, you look at his baby mama as a light-skinned, lighter than Drake. This is who they are. The hypocrisy of the Bantu. This is what they do, right? They want the women. They want access to the women. This is how they're able to spread their influence and maintain and expand hegemony, is through this bastardization process. So when they say, oh, well, Dominicans are black, they're just anti-black. They don't want to claim their blackness. No, they want access to the women, to bastardize them. That's their method of gaining influence and control. But they want the men, the males, to be subordinates, to serve darker skinned blacks. Nobody's going to be underneath you people out here. I mean, you'll have a J. Cole that'll be hip and cool, and he's very lyrical. I think he's a good lyricist. I like J. Cole, his music. I don't like his stance and posturing on I don't like his position with the whole Kendrick thing and how he wants to apologize and be a subordinate to the Bantus. I don't respect it at all. Drake gets all the respect because it's what, 20v1? You got all these Bantus against you, Rick Ross and all of them, and you're gonna like basically unloading clips and all of them in that whole Family Matters diss track. Like he's going after all of them. So yeah, Drake gets all the respect. You're gonna be the king. You gotta fight for that shit. And you got J. Cole who takes a step back. I'm sorry. I still want to be cool with you Bantus. Fuck out of here. That was some weak shit. And it's sad because he's a good artist. He's a good lyricist. Way more lyrical than Drake and Kendrick and a lot of these other rappers. He's very good. His rhymes, his rap, but just the integrity components missing, where they feel like they still got something to prove. They found that place is their home, but they got to be in the shadows. That's what Drake talked about in that song, Family Matters. Like, you don't want, what's his name, Jermaine, to be in the light. Talking about J. Cole, Jermaine, they don't want him to be in the light. He want him to be in the shadows, be in the shadow of the dark-skinned black. That's how they try to position these mulattoes and lighter-skinned people, especially the men I'm talking about. They uplift the image of like a Cardi B, of a Miss Mulatta or Doja Cat, or you name any other Mulatta singer. They put the Mulatta singer up front and they uplift her as being blackness, like Alicia Keys. Any Mulatta, they'll put the Mulatta to represent black women in America. And dark-skinned black women like Chrissy and her followers, they're not happy about that. Rightfully so. But I don't give a damn what they're happy about, because those black women are still black male worshippers. They serve the Bantu and coddle them, and these problems persist. And that's why I'm here talking my shit. I see these problems still persist, so the mulatto guys got to jump up here and talk. Okay. So let's continue on with this, because there's a lot to talk. This strategy, we all see this now, guys. Like they want access to they'll play this game, this claiming blackness. I'm not trying to be a part of your little group, bro. We're not the same people, homie. Okay, I don't, this black men versus Dominican men. I thought you people were claiming Dominicans as black. Oh, so now they're not black. Of course, it's only the man he's talking about here. If it was Dominican woman, he'd be like, well, you got some black ancestry. You know, the one drop rule, you're still considered black. Fuck out of here, boy.
Different colors.
So I'm gonna ask you, black men or Dominican men?
See, that's the first question he's got to ask her. Something sexual, right? I'm going to ask you, black men or Dominican men? He's not going to ask her about healthcare, the economy, how to make the neighborhood safer, how to increase the living standard, how to increase life expectancy, how to supply clean food and water to impoverished nations and underdeveloped nations. No, he's not going to talk about solutions. Okay, this degenerate Bantu is going to ask her, who do you prefer, the black man or Dominican men? Trying to put a wedge in between her and her own group of men. You guys see that? Because they do that with this whole light skin versus dark skin shit. They do. See, they're doing that for the mulatto men. And for me, like I said, with this whole light skin thing, if you light skins, you identify with Bantus, this is the wrong channel for you, bro. Like, I'm gonna hurt your feelings. I'm gonna say something you're not gonna like. I gotta keep telling you guys, man, unsubscribe. Don't come over here, bro. There's other people who need to be over here and get this information. I don't understand. Like, people love to hate watch me. That's why I got people listening, but I only got one fucking commenter. Shout out to you, Celine. I got Celine commenting, but I got like a bunch of people listening. Yeah, because he's got hate watchers all up in the clouds talking, talking ish behind the scenes. Like, I don't understand these people. They love to watch my shit, but they disagree so much. But they can never challenge my rhetoric, my quote unquote rhetoric. They always go straight to ad hominems. That's why I know I won and I beat all of you. You always go to the same little ad hominems about how I look. That's why I already know, like, I already beat all you people. So Celine puts here, also putting trans stuff in public schools. Yeah, the whole trans stuff is why, that's what I call about the extreme left. But the thing is, what did the conservatives win? Conservatism, say what you will about it, is much more based in common sense policies. What I said about conservatism is that with this whole, like, the Trump situation, where none of these conservatives can tell me what they really won, it's basically just sticking it to the left, right? It's basically just telling them, haha, we won, you lost. That it's like some kid shit. That's to me is what it seems like. I don't know, what the hell did they win? I don't understand, like, what the hell did they win? What's there to brag about? You got Trump in office, the first ever, he got him reelected, first ever convicted felon as a sitting president. Married, this is his fourth wife, who's not even American. All you American women, so proud to be American, but he's not even married to an American. He's married to a fucking foreigner who's Slovenian with a thick ass accent. But see, she's white enough. See, you guys, you're not fooling anyone out here, man. Not the mulattoes over here. You can play dumb with the blacks, okay, have fun, but like I said, we're letting you know we're a little different, especially because we were raised by you people. We grew up around you, like guys like us, me. We came out of your womb. We were raised by you. We've studied you since our inception, our birth. We know you in a lot of cases better. You know us. That's why a lot of you guys hate us. You fear us. You talk about the replacement theory and these other type of stuff. You fear us because you've already captured and conquered the Bantus. You've already captured them. That's why you got this idiot here with his microphone asking random women, who do they prefer? Dark-skinned guys or light-skinned? Who do you prefer, black or Dominican? This is the extent of, like, this is like their entertainment. This is their goal in life, is to bastardize other groups so that they can expand their influence, basically. Instead of competing, developing science, like I said, clean water, healthcare, food, energy. Instead of, expanding technology and, discovering the universe, no, he's going to ask these chicks about like who they randomly. Chicks like this, man, they'll sleep with anybody, man. I'm not just saying her, but like a lot of these people are for the streets. Whoever gives them the best proposal and an option, they're going to take it. It doesn't matter if you're Asian or Indian or Latino. It doesn't matter with these women in this marketplace around the planet. So I don't understand this thing about black men or Dominican men. Who do you prefer? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Do I have to pick one? Damn, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah, she's an East Coaster. That's hard. You see that with with the R, right? That's hard, yeah. And that's why like having this conversation, they're out in the cold, whatever. It's some New York shit, right? But I like the fact that this lady, well, she has to identify as both black and white. She can't just say she identifies as black, even though she probably grew up around them, went to school with them. She can't, because you're looking kind of stupid, because you look at you, look in the mirror, you look at them. You people aren't the same group. Like, how, you know. So yeah, but I think a lot of them, they kind of trick them. You see like the Fat Joes, and I think he's Puerto Rican, but you know, you got people like that out there in the East Coast. I've been knew that for a minute too. When I'm analyzing like with the Chicanos from the West Coast where I'm at, and then some of these cats in the East Coast, I'm like, yeah, they got shit a little different, running a little differently out there. I don't know if it's working out. We'll see. You got a bunch of like conservative Dominicans out in the in New York, the East Coast, but yet there's a bunch of liberal blacks. So clearly, politically, they're not aligned. Something's not working out there. You tell me. Let's continue on with this.
Hard. Dominican men.
What?
Yeah, and she prefers Dominican men. Of course you should. That's natural. That's natural, which means you like yourself. You look yourself in the mirror. You like who you are. That's natural. Good. But then this guy's gonna try to like argue with her and like try to rationalize with her. Well, why? Why do you prefer your own image? Why don't you want to prefer me? I got some swag. I'm 6 foot tall, even though I'm broke, and I got pants that has like a money bag on his pants, even though I'm broke and, taking the bus. Why don't you prefer me, man?
Why Dominican men?
He asked her why Dominican men, because she's Dominican, dummy. What if you asked a Chinese woman, and the Chinese woman's like, I like Chinese men. Why China? See, they never ask these women those questions, right? Asian women are asking East Indian women or something. It's like they try to put this wedge in between. Like, dude, you asked her why Dominican men. She's Dominican, bro. She likes being Dominican. Like where I'm from, like the Mexican men, they always prefer Mexican women. The Mexican women always prefer Mexican men. That's normal. That's normal. That's how civilization society has ran for years. That's how these families, these civilizations have grown and, flourished for years. That's a normal progression in life. People they like their image. I'm one mulatto guy who's of that same kind of ilk, so to speak. I like my own image. Yeah. You ask me, who do you prefer, the biracial woman or the black woman? I'm going to say the biracial woman. Who do you prefer, the biracial woman or the white woman? I'm going to prefer the biracial woman. I say Mulatta specifically. And so it's like, yeah, that's normal. But you talk to some of these other people. See, these are the only group of males I find they're interviewing women who are not black, asking them these questions. Do you find other races of men do that? Do you find white guys interviewing random women? Do you prefer us white guys? You see that it's this demographic that does this with this whole light skin, dark skin shit. You prefer dark skin guys or light skin guys? Which the dark skins are using as a code word for mixed and not black. Unfortunately, yeah, like I said, a lot of light skin guys haven't figured it out. They've been pushed out of the community. Now the women are good. They want the women there because they want more baby mamas to fuel their machine. But it's the males they want. If you're not gonna, they want to maintain you as a subordinate. It's the same strategy we see that the Anglos have with the illegals. We could say with the Hispanics, the illegal ones. where they're cool with all the Hispanics coming up here because they offer them assimilation. Okay, the white men, the Anglo males, they want access to the Latina box to have mixed kids, but their kids are going to be predominantly white, European genes, so they're going to be more so white passing, so they can be, absorbed into the white body politic. So all the Trump supporters and MAGA, they're cool with all the illegals crossing the border, but the Anglo males, the Trump people, they just want the Mexican males to stay in their place and to work for them, right? But they want access to the Mexican women. That's what it is. It's the same thing with these Bantus. Like, they just want the lighter skinned mulatto men to be underneath them as subordinates, but they want access to the women. So they'll claim the women as being black, right? Same strategy we see. How the Anglos, how they deal with the Latinos to increase their numbers, how the Bantus, how they deal with mulattoes to increase their numbers. The males of those groups, they just want access to the women. And then they want the males to be subordinates to them. I'm over here sitting there. You can say I'm anti-black or colorist or this or that. You can kiss my fucking ass. I don't give a shit what you idiots call me. Okay, I'm not a part of your group, not a part of your community. And I'm going to call a spade a spade. I see this information, these stories people share with me, whatnot. I'm going to respond to it. Yeah. Yeah, I got a voice out here. I've been hearing you people talk all this shit about light skin and mulattoes for all these years. Okay, well, payback time. Okay.
It's more of like,
And don't tell me this crap about therapy. I'm going to talk about that. I saw some guy who did a live stream and he did some typical gaslighting BS where I'm going to talk about actually after I do this. Yeah, I'll talk about that a little later. Because I saw some guy do a live stream. And it's typical what they do is you need to seek therapy. No, you people need to seek therapy. Slavery happened 150 years ago. Get over it. See, but they want to tell you mulattoes or you lighter skinned guys, well, maybe you got bullied when you were a kid and you got trauma. So you need to go to therapy. No, you people need to go to therapy. Fuck out of here. They always try to project their own insecurities onto you. That's what it is. Continuing on with this.
like a cultural thing, like the way I was raised. I know like their families have the same values my family got. Like,
What you like about them?
I really don't like men, but
You don't like, she says she doesn't really like men. Okay. She's got that kind of rough New York accent, kind of talking like a black, has some black female friends. Okay. Yeah. We kind of see the trend. She just told you she doesn't really like men. I'd walk the hell away. There's nothing else to talk about with this individual. So I'm going to say this now, even reviewing this clip, like, okay, yeah, she identifies as one of us, meaning black and white, but you don't like the men. Okay. Yeah. So you're basically fucking worthless at this point. Publicly say that. There's already too many of you out here anyways like that. You don't like the guys. You want your little lesbian retreat for dual heritage, for mixed people, but special criteria. They want femme males and women. That's not a mixed group. Like, that's not a pro mix. Like, a lot of this shit you see that's pro mixed, it's basically pro gay and pro black, pro women. Fuck out of here. So when I hear, you can't take that stuff lightly when someone like this makes that type of comment. She just said she doesn't really like males. How fucking anti-civilization is that type of statement? Who publicly says that? She's talking to a guy and she says she doesn't really like males. That's gay shit. Call a spade a spade. If I were to talk to somebody, a woman, and be like, well, I don't really like women, then that's gay. What the fuck? That doesn't make sense to me. How is it that they pass on that kind of like misandry as if it's normal? She just like, it's just very subtly, right? I really don't like males. I would just, okay, conversation's done. Get out of here. You're you're gay.
I really don't like men, but like,
What you like about them?
I really don't like men, but
And of course, they'll take this and say, Mulatto Vanguard, you're homophobic. You were spreading colorist, anti-black, homophobic, responding to you people, you're anti-mulatto, you're anti-male misandry, you're heterophobia, as we just saw, like with this individual, straight up heterophobia, saying she doesn't like men. And this guy laughs it off like as a joke. I'm sitting there like, How, like, this is not normal in this like society to like boldly say you don't like the opposite gender. Like, this is a gay individual. Like, okay, well, maybe, okay, well, have fun. But if you're a straight person, like, you shouldn't be dealing with people who are against you like that. It makes no fucking sense. I don't get it.
They're cool. Dominicans are cool. They're cool.
Have you been with a black guy before?
Yeah.
She's been with a black guy before, but before that state, of course she's been with a black guy. We know. That's why I said earlier where it's like, well, they're all for the streets. And then, but see, she's been with a black guy before, which is very obvious by the way you're talking. Okay. And then she says, oh, she doesn't really like men. I wonder why she doesn't like men. What type of men ruined it for the rest of us? I'm just throwing it out there because I'm sitting there like, well, it's obvious you've been a black man because you try to talk like a black. I mean, you're from New York or wherever the hell you're from with that accent. And, you're entertaining this black guy and you boldly tell him to his face like it's no problem that you don't like men. But a lot of these guys, they're raised by like misandrist moms and shit. That's why most of these black American males you run into, they're misandrous. That's why they don't work together well with other men. That's why in the football field, in the military, in the basketball field, they need some white guy to whip them in shape. All their coaches are white men. You notice that in all these major sports and all this shit, all these companies and institutions, they got white men telling all these blacks how to organize and strategize what to do. They don't even accept leadership from their own blacks, their own men. Because a lot of them, they're 75+% raised by women a lot of them are hardcore misandrist. I feel sorry for some of them, especially the ones who are civilized, who know how to read, who can speak English, who conduct themselves like gentlemen. I'll treat you like a gentleman. We could do business. It's no hate. But to the degenerates, the savages, I'm not even going to waste my time dealing with you, to be honest with you. But yeah, a lot of these guys, they think it's the misandry's normal because they're raised by single moms who are misandrous. And you have this individual who says she doesn't really like men. We're like, isn't that fucking weird to you guys? Like, how is she so comfortable saying that? That's why I paused to say, like, I don't want to, change the whole, direction and topic on this kind of gender component, but it's extremely important to highlight that when we see that. How the hell is that normal for her to make a misandrist, anti-male, heterophobic comment? But a guy like me, I say something about skin color. See, it's only colorist if you say something about the dark skins, the Bantus, then it's colorist. But they can talk shit about you being light skinned. It's just jokes. I'm just joking with you people too. Fuck you. Go cry to whites. See if I give a shit. I know on TikTok where yeah, they do care because they probably got gay black lesbians who are running their whole, you know, what do they call like the community guidelines situation there? That's basically, yeah. That's why they shadow ban mulattoes over there.
How was that?
Amazing. I love black guys too, but
She loves black guys too, really. But yeah, she just said she doesn't like men though. What the hell?
I think I am.
are you mixed? You look kind of mixed.
He doesn't look mixed. He's lighter. He's a light-skinned black. He's basically just black. Okay. Light-skinned blacks are not mulattoes. And I know there's a lot of light-skinned blacks who want to say they're mulattoes, but they're not. Okay. Because you got mulatto guys like me who are going to gatekeep this shit. Okay. And two groups can operate and we can be, in support of each other. That's perfectly fine. But this overlap shit where you think you're going to claim us and absorb us, like, I'll sit there and listen to you guys, but now we're not the same as you, bro. I wasn't raised in that culture. You're not my people. Okay. If you identify with the Bantu who's proven to be anti-mulatto male, I don't know what to tell you. You're being divisive. Okay. Well, so what? So what?
I'm gonna just say straight black. That's it. I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah, you got it right. You got it right. You got it right. Everybody be thinking I'm either Puerto Rican, Dominican, or Jamaican, or
Yeah, he's an admixed black person, mostly black. If you want to do that whole griff thing, okay, that's fine. You're a quote griff. A griff is not a mulatto. So whatever the hell he is, he's not one of us. Okay. Just straight up like that. And go cry about that. Let me see. Bro, she isn't misandrous or anti-hetero. She is bisexual. That's a good point. Yeah, she likes women too, but the thing is, she can like women and not like say she hates men. Do you hear like she said hate? Like she threw that word out there, like very subtly. Yeah, yeah, it's maybe my speech. Yeah, because she isn't really a misandrist. Maybe that was a stretch on my part because if she was a serious misandrist, she wouldn't even be like sitting there smiling, talking to the dude, right? So I agree with you. She's just a bisexual, but we still have to check her on the language when she's talking shit, saying she hates men. I would have, because to me that's kind of weird. I would just check her and be like, well, wait a second, what? You want to revise that statement, right? But yeah, you're right. I wouldn't say I wouldn't go that route that she's like a super like she's not a misandrist. You have more of the lesbian types who are the misandrous, right? Anti-hetero, but yeah, she's bisexual. Yeah, and she likes black guys. She's messes with black guys. A lot of the bisexuals do. Okay. They hate black women and like a predator. They want to spread their sickness. Interesting. I recommend that you review a video by Ask Nathaniel. He goes deep into the pro mixed woman, but anti mixed male. Oh yeah, it's super common. A lot of these guys are coming to that kind of realization. I see that on TikTok and some other platforms, and even here on YouTube and stuff, where they realize they're like, "What the hell?" How they see that, and you can't like avoid. It's unavoidable. It's unavoidable to not see the reality of it. Where they're pro mixed women and they're pro gay and pro all these other groups, but then like they can't work with mixed men. It's I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna go more into that later. Just letting you know right now. You are correct about the political climate and the behavior of the Bantu males. Interesting. Yeah. Appreciate you supporting the content, digging the content. Yeah, guys, I think I got a couple more clips I'm going to share and then get into some further commentary. We're already an hour into this, and then I feel like dropping a link tonight. It's not even midnight yet where I'm at, so I feel like dropping a link so I can do that. But yeah. want to keep playing that beat because that beat is dope as fuck. I want to keep playing that beat, but we got to continue on with this. So another clip from the guy's channel, his TikTok. Let's check this one out.
Ariana, Kiri, Stacy.
What's y'all
Again, interviewing chicks who aren't black. Typical.
ethnicity?
I'm Colombian.
He sees the women. He knows they're not black because they don't ask blacks, what's your ethnicity? So the first thing he's going to ask him is, what's your ethnicity? Ooh, you're exotic. These exotic goals, right?
I'm Colombian.
And the dude has a cameraman. The dude, his whole operation, he's got a cameraman too. It's interesting.
Salvadorian, Dominican.
So Dominican, Salvadorian, Colombian, Latinas, right?
All right, okay, so this is perfect. Dominican men or Puerto Rican men for you?
And she's Dominican, and he asked her Dominican men or Puerto Rican men. Why the hell does it matter? She's Dominican. You see, like, well, why do you ask these random women, like, what men they prefer? You ask them their ethnicity and what men. Oh, Mulatto Vanguard, you're just being a player hater, you're hating your game. No, we're talking about the strategy that we see from Bantus, and the subtle strategy, but how they have the implications are, persistent. Because this stuff, it trickles down when they have mixed kids and they try to trick their kids and tell the kids, or these women who are non-black and these Latinas, if they raise their kid who's mixed and they try to tell them, well, the world's gonna see you as black, your dad, your baby, your father is black, who's not even in the household, but they want to tell their kids that their kids are black, like, and then these, they're gonna grow up eventually, and then they're gonna find my material, they're gonna hear me, and they're like, oh shit, this guy's right. This is what's going to happen, okay?
Neither. I'm out of the shop.
How you gonna leave and say neither?
Okay. She doesn't want to be interviewed. Okay. That clip was basically worthless. Let me find something else. So the guy's channel, I can share this, and I'll just share one more clip and then go on to some other commentary and kind of call it a... I'll possibly drop the link, but we'll see. So this is a guy's channel. Shots.
Bad Bunny or Romeo Santos?
Shots Entertainment.
What's the craziest thing
viral.
you've done?
I'm the CEO.
Me going to jail
Shots
over hitting a white
Entertainment
bitch.
viral.
What did she do for you to hit her?
Look at
You call me nigga.
The thumbnails
I don't play that. I'm from Alabama. I don't play the Alabama word nigga. I don't play that.
are all like
You
non-black
nigga.
women. Except
Lay
the
it out
male,
right
they
in front
have
of
the
Mars.
black. See this guy here.
I was gonna ask y'all, what's the craziest thing y'all seen in New York?
This is from when I was really little, but I got really scared.
that's
I
a
saw a
wax
man throw a bunch of books in the middle of the street, and he
Mixed
said,
chick
fuck
here,
books,
you
and I
can
got really
see
scared. And the
Lusty mixed chick here, right?
And since I'm a man, I need to know this. Why do women cheat?
Why ask her? See.
It's your boy LD and I'm with.
Star.
Okay, he's probably gonna ask.
It's your boy LD and I'm with.
Star.
Puerto Rican men or Dominican men?
Neither.
Why?
My man, he's Guyanese.
Guyanese
So what you like about Guyanese men?
Culture. I love the way that they kind of like take responsibility as men. They know like the role that men play in the household. That's very something strong that they grew up with.
It's your boy LD and I'm with.
Okay. I don't know, but the first question he asked her is, if Guyanese is a South American country, yeah, that's the Latinos. They got mixed population there as well. Yeah, I've heard of Guyana. Is it? Yeah, it's crazy. It's the country is not so much on the map. I know the country. It's I think they had that Georgetown there. With the guy Jim Jones. You guys heard of him? He had I think it was called Jonestown. I think it is in Jim Jones. Yeah, in Guyana, that country she just referenced. So I heard of the country, but I haven't heard so much. But yeah, it's in South America. It's in the northern region of the continent. But yeah, they do have like a mixed population. I think they do have some like I know in Suriname is like a Dutch colony. They had a lot of African trade and mixed people there as well. So yeah, whatever. That clip, let me find something else I got here, guys. Just bear with me. There's another one I wanted to talk about. think this one will do. Now I saw this one earlier, and yeah, a chick said she prefers black guys. And the thing is, it's like you can kind of tell with these chicks, like just the way they talk and even the way they dress, like they're wearing house clothes and just wearing like slippers and like pajama pants and like just the way they dress and the way they talk. They got their cell phone in their hand, you kind of can analyze where their value system is and the type of guys they mess with. So then you realize, well, this is not somebody that you're gonna be spending money on. Okay, we know the type of guys you're used to dealing with, so your expectations, the bar is very low, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Like when I see those are the type of guys you deal with, I don't expect that much from you. The bar is super low. And I'm not, I'm just one of the guys who's gonna say this, but other guys, they're probably, not gonna say it vocally like me.
Ecuadorian men or Salvadorian?
None.
Why?
Because I don't prefer that. That's not
He asked her Ecuadorian or Salvadoran because I believe that's what she is. But in this clip, it's not showing that where he asked her ethnicity. But she's clearly looks like a Central American, like a Hispanic.
my preference. Yeah.
So it's not her preference.
So what would you go with?
Yeah.
And she laughs and giggles. But listen to her accent, her tone, how she talks. It's a dead giveaway when you hear them. Okay, this is like low budget, like not a lot of money. Yeah.
Yo,
It's a New York thing too. I think that's kind of the key thing. But
no, black men. Black men.
she fucks with the black men. Nice. Where's her man's at? You got a family? It's not my business. Let me just rephrase that. I really don't care. It's not my business. But if she were to publicly say this, that she prefers black men, then we come to find out she's a baby mama, it's like, okay, nobody should really be surprised out here.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh. You want to go with okay. What you like about black men?
And she jumps right on her phone right now, right? Doesn't even like men of her own image. Prefers black men. But see, this is a W for Bantus, but it's an L for her and her own culture. But this is part of that expanding kind of territory, the expanding hegemony through that bastardization process. And even right now, looking at this clip, I can already kind of analyze where it's like, I doubt just based off this, like she's going to have a situation to where she gets a black guy to pay all her bills. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, don't want to, I guess I am sounding like a hater, but usually I'm right about these things. I think my observations are pretty accurate. I'm sitting here looking at it and she's young, but I'm like, yeah. You don't prefer men of your own image. You don't prefer Salvadorian, Ecuadorian men. You prefer, that's not normal. I'm sorry. Like it's not normal. It is not normal.
Bro, I don't know. That's just my preference. It's nothing.
I don't know. It's just my preference, It's just because the Cardi B and Kim Kardashian, and it's just trendy, It's the culture, It's just trendy. They're baby mamas, and they got some money. They got the bag, and they're for women empowerment, and and it's part of the culture. This is what I hear when I listen to this. Yeah. Okay.
No. Nope. No, yo. I like the complexion. That's about it. Like
That's just about it. I like the complexion, so it's like a fetish, right? Saying she likes a skin tone. Remember, she says black men. You're talking about dark skin Bantus, not you light skin, not you mixed guys, trying to act like a black, like J. Cole. Not you guys. And she's saying she likes a complexion. So what the hell? Everyone on the screen, they're all kind of lighter skin. They're not dark skin. Even the host guy, he's not like dark skin. He's not mulatto. Okay. And even these people, but this woman's like, oh, I just like the complexion. I don't know. That's about it. That's about it. You just like their skin color. Aren't you a fucking colorist? Oh, but see, you're a mixed woman, so it's we get it. Yeah, you're a colorist. Aren't you a colorist? You say you like someone for their skin tone, but it's okay to like a dark skinned black for having black skin tone. See, but when you, as a mixed guy, you prefer a woman who's lighter skin, they try to shame you. They can't shame me because I don't give two shits. I'm not a part of your people and your community. Go cry to your white massa. Go report the video, the community guidelines. I'm not a part of you people and your culture, your community. So I'll call it straight up. But it's funny how they try to shame you people from preferring like lighter skinned women and shit. Oh, I prefer the light skin. See, this woman's boldly gonna publicly be like, "Oh, I don't know why I like them. Just I like the skin." Isn't that like fetishizing and like colorist? Like, what a nasty, I want to say some other stuff, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, I would not spend money. Like someone like that, like it's just gross. Like you don't get wined and dined and taken care of. You're not an elegant woman that like I'm gonna show that type of respect to. Okay. When you clip that and save it for the books. I'm letting you know straight up, like the caliber of females I deal with, like, and I this whole ghetto ratchet shit and all this stuff. I'm not a fan of that. Okay.
They're just cute. It's adorable. And the babies will be cute.
And the babies will be cute. You see how they want to create you out of a fetish. The babies will be cute. Talking about the mixed kids, right? You see how they look at everything. It's just a fetish. It's just a trend. Not even considering legacy, not even considering like the environment that child's going to be raised in. They're going to be raised in New York. It's like, oh my man, they don't take any of that stuff in consideration. It's just, oh, just the skin and the kid's going to be cute and all this crap. And like, this is, yeah, you're dealing with these two individuals are like, they're not even like ladies. I wouldn't consider them women or ladies. Like they're just, the maturity level is missing there. They got their cell phones out and stuff like that. Like this is, yeah.
Yeah, you see, she thinking long term.
She thinking long term, that accent, like, she's thinking long term. No, she's not thinking long term. No, she's not. No, she's not. She's thinking about a fetish and a trend that's not going to last, that's not going to last long, be honest with you. See, that's why I talked about Kim Kardashian and what's the other one? Cardi B, because it's the same playbook. They don't like light skinned men. They want the dark skinned guys. They want to have mixed kids. It's all the same shit. And then they want to talk about this liberal crap about female empowerment. It's all the same bullshit, And they're both single moms and crap, but they're both rich. But they don't have a guy that's going to commit to them.
Whatever you was thinking.
Okay. That's it for that. I shared enough. I already shared the guy's page. It's just, some Dominican wanted me to talk about it. It's like, why not? I mean, this is a strategy we see, right? So I can kind of go over some notes from the individual who shared it with me. Was like, even with the first woman that I shared, the bisexual one who's Dominican, who basically identified as mulatto, black and white, right? But it's proof when the guy puts black men or Dominican men. Dominicans aren't black. I don't know. These blacks keep trying to claim these Dominicans because they want access to the women. We already went over that, right? Yeah. But, that's the whole thing. It's like, it's just the persistent gaslighting because they want access to the women, right? And basically, I was going back and forth with some of the comments or like in the DMs, I should say, with this individual who shared this with me. And their comment response was Bantu hegemony expands primarily through bastardization. So I named this stream after that because, this whole concept of the Bantu within like nomenclature within the circles I'm in, like I never saw anybody say this shit until I started saying it. That's why it's an interesting thing, like with social media and, have a voice and that's why a lot of people don't like me. They don't like the fact that people listen, people are tuning in and they're repeating, or you can say, quote unquote, parroting some of the stuff I'm saying. They really don't like that. They don't like the influence, that it's a global reach with what I'm doing. And other people are catching on. They can see the concepts and they can see what's really going on. And yeah, this whole idea of spreading their hegemony through this bastardization, where they ask these chicks, random chicks, who do you prefer? Where like the last video I just reviewed right there, the clip where the woman's talking about, oh, she's thinking long term. No, the hell she's not. She just wants to have mixed kids and she doesn't know why she likes black guys. She just likes the skin. Like this is weird. Like, so they look at the black guy as being like a sperm donor or something like that. And do the black guys, do you want to pay child support to someone like that? Is that, for, do you want to pay child support? I don't. What honest man would want to pay child support for something like that? That's like a bar chick, a barmaid or something. Like just straight up ghetto, like just, no, that's someone, I don't understand. Like, and she's looking at you like a fetish, like just basically to punk you and to get a kid out of the whole ordeal, like the baby trap and stuff like that. It's fucking stupid, man. She's not talking about relationship or building a legacy of family. Just, oh, well, the kids are going to be cute. Like, am I seeing this wrong, guys? Am I, you tell me. Because the thing is, with the person who was sharing this with me, they definitely tried to position it as the black guy, this and that. I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. But then he's interviewing these women, and the women is telling them that she wants a black guy because she wants to have mixed kids, and we're like, okay, but you prefer a black guy over your own group of guys, and you ask you why? Well, I don't know, the skin color. Well, aren't you a colorist? No, but see, it's only colorism when you prefer light skin. you know that's why, because they've been coddled so much with Bantus. That's why they think it's normal to come out here and talk shit about you being light skinned. They have a lot of you light skins punked where you don't even want to talk, you don't even want to match their energy or basically punch back. A lot of you are scared stiff. You got that J. Cole syndrome where you're going to apologize to try to be in good grace. See, with you guys, it's not because you're raised around them. That's all your friends. You're in that community. I don't have that issue. I'm not from that community. So I see it for what it is. My own little parts out here. And the thing is with the whole gaslighting, they know what they're doing. They can try to act dumb. They try to act dumb with a massa because they don't remember. Goes back to slavery, this kind of psyche. They don't want the massa to know that they can read and write, right? So they're always trying to play dumb with their strategy. But they know what they're doing with the gaslighting. Okay, they're doing all that to bully mix people on purpose. And it's to display their territorial claim, especially over the women. That's the key thing with the Bantu expansion. With this gaslighting, they want to bully mixed people. They want to weaponize that one drop rule. And it works. It's more effective over the women. Because a lot of the guys, they're not going to get punked. They're not going to take it. You see a guy like me, I'm like, I don't even deal with you savages. You're not my people. I'm not a part of your community. And Patrick's the same way. Shout out. That's why I shared Patrick. He's the same way. It's like, you ain't my people. I'm not going to call you my fucking brother and sister. You got some of these cats, like, calling them, bro, like, no. You're not my people, okay? So, but a lot of these guys out here are just straight up punks. Like they can't basically detach themselves from that umbilical cord. They still, that's their home, their culture. But yeah, they basically they want to display this territorial claim over the women. And then you got the mixed guys or light skinned guys who want to complain about the women. And I'm sitting here saying, it's like, you guys are punks to the dark skinned blacks. Like, what do you expect? The women, how are they going to respect you? When you show your allegiance to that group of males, you're underneath them trying to be down, and they're your brother, sister, and blah, 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 and you're a minority amongst them. They punk you or haze you, and then you complain about the women. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, yeah. Yeah, it's about the territorial claim in this expansion. This is what it is. And the gaslighting gives the Bantus access to non-black women, also the whole reproduction. Okay. But when you match the energy, they'll cry anti-black, and this is basically the only strategy they have. And the gaslighting is their main tool, their strategy, right? Because it allows them access, it allows them to kind of put in a wedge without the use of violence and warfare. Because we know, especially like even if I can reference back to Patrick's page, where we know with Bantus how they're hyper energized to be and ready for their violence against mulatto men or lighter skinned men. They are like ready for warfare when it comes to you, dealing with you. But when it comes to that white man who's all up in their ass, all of a sudden they're nice boys, little spring chickens and shit, you know? When it comes to Latinos and these other groups, right? You know this boy, you know. But they get so uppity and violent with you. So shout out to Patrick. I'll go reference his page again, like I said, because it's concurrent with what, you know, he says these are AEW wrestlers. I know this guy here is like Puerto Rican guy. He's Latino guy. He's married to a Mulatta American female. That's the only reason why I know of him. I don't watch wrestling. But what Patrick is saying here is in Rochette, he's a light-skinned perfectionist guy, exchanging words with one another. Though it's a work is like a fight that's staged, right? You can still see the hatred this xenomorph has. He calls him a xenomorph, this Bantu. How many of y'all got that look from them in public? Pure envy and hate. Even those who are not even mixed or biracial, light-skinned men receive this look from them. Yeah. Drop a comment. I like the post. Yeah, this right here is what I'm saying. Like the look in his eyes, the contempt. You see this light-skinned guy, like, you know, with it wearing a suit and stuff, perfectionist. He's married to a Mulatta, a woman who's similar image, shares an image. You look at this guy here and the look, you know. I like how he shared this shit because, yeah, this is what it is, right? See, because for them, they want to initiate warfare against you, but the gaslighting that they exhibit, and they know it's easier if they can go after the women. If they go after the women, it's an easier bet to conquer them, to bastardize them. This is what it is, right? So with the whole gaslighting, they don't have to exhibit to the violence and warfare strategy. With you, they're ready to go. Because even with me, I had people, I think it was over on X like a year ago or over. The guy put his account on private or whatever, but he was someone, he's an FBA, black terrorist. And this guy, this black extremist terrorist, was like basically like, oh, this mulatto vanguard, we need to G-check him. We need to report his channel and all this shit. So it's like with a mulatto, they're ready to go, right? That's what it is. But see, with these other groups, they know it's not going to work that way, right? But with you, because you're a lot of you, especially if you're in their culture, their little communitas, you know, then you're at risk. Basically, you're in enemy territory. So, you know, and see, that's why they'll have a strategy basically to gaslight, mainly to go after the women. That's why we talk about with Dr. Umar Johnson. He always goes after the mixed women, not the men. Because in the what's the other guy? Not Dr. Phil Advice show. He'll target mixed women like Tyla in South Africa and then mixed Dominican women. See, that's what these pro-whack Afrocentric Bantus, they do. They go after the women because they know it's an easier target. They want to try to gaslight and manipulate the women into identifying as black as a form to conquer them, to bastardize them. Because they know what the males will put up a fight. But like I said, with you, and I share that image, like they really want to go after you. They don't have that contempt when it's when they're white masses in front of them or some Latinos in front of them. They're able to get humbled really quick. It's when it's a mulatto man, then they get a little extra uppity. Look what they're doing with Drake, right? Drake has helped him out for years. And look how they all form like Voltron to turn on him. Coincidence much? You tell me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, and the thing is, I want to go back as well. Like when I was talking about, I stopped and I wanted to talk about how I saw this live stream from this guy who was basically saying there's no need for, you golden people or whatever you people call yourselves to have your own group. There's no need for that. He's basically trying to say you guys got trauma. You didn't see therapy for it. It's typical gaslighting from the Afrocentrics, right? There's nobody that has more trauma than them. And when you talk to them, this same individual was talking about how up in Michigan, one of his family members were like sprayed with water hoses and shit during riots. It's like, why are you telling me this shit now in 2000? I think it was 2022. He posted that comment to my channel. It's like, why are you telling me this 2022? He's talking about how back in the 60s, like one of his relatives was sprayed with a water hose. It sounds like you got a lot of trauma, boy, from them segregation days. You see, but they always conveniently spread that crap when they come to you. They're like, you people shouldn't talk about your trauma. You people, you just need to go see a therapist. You were picked on by black folks. You haven't got over it. It's such a cop out, man. Like you guys share the whole world studies you people. It's so you guys just brag and share crap on social media every day. Talk about, the trauma and colorism and Willie Lynch and all this other crap. It's just a projection is out of this friggin' world. How are you going to tell anyone about therapy? He's telling you light-skinned people who want to form your own group. You you guys just need to go consult a therapist and get over it. And of course, guys like that are punks because they have nothing to say about this content. Like if darker skinned people are talking shit about mixed people or lighter skinned people, they're quiet. They say nothing. They know their place. But whenever we respond, all of a sudden we're the bad guy. You shouldn't create your own group. You just, you got some unhealed trauma. Go talk to a therapist. That dude has no influence. I saw that clip. I just laughed. I was like, man, you're the same guy who was talking about one of your relatives getting sprayed with the fucking hose in the 60s. Dude, you got more trauma than anybody else out here, man. Like, they still think they have some influence over here. They can tell these younger folks to don't identify with mulattoes. It's a bad word. You just got to accept the shitty deal that these Bantus are giving you. Fuck out of here. You have no influence, not within our operation. Right? Yeah, let me see what I got. Some of my notes. So the thing is, like, what I noticed as well is that what they'll often do in conjunction with that guy, like with the comments, they'll talk about, you just got unresolved trauma, and you got picked on by blacks and you got to go talk to a therapist and get over it, right? Only you, the light skin or the mulatto guy, you got to get over it. But the dark skins, no, they can just cry and whine about slavery for the next 500 fucking years, right? They're allowed to express their grievances and express their pain or whatnot, right? It's not even pain with us. I'm just matching energy. You guys are going to talk shit about us on social media. Well, we're talking shit back. That's the way I see this operation. What the fuck? But they're talking about like trauma or pain. I was like, bro, I'm not from your community. I was not raised around you people. Like, I have family members for sure, but like I was not raised in your little hoods and ghettos to where I was conditioned to think it's acceptable to like be like take a back seat or be in a shadow or some shit. I'm like, this is weird. I don't talk like you people like that. I I'm thinking about it like, what the hell, man? What the hell? And also another thing too is with the whole in conjunction with the whole bastardization process. Shout out to Flowers telling Stewart because I remember she put a comment a while ago, if I recall, like over a year ago, maybe a couple years ago. And she was talking about how, in her comment, about how it was primarily a lot of the white community that's raising a lot of these mulattoes, or a lot of these mulattoes today are raised by single white moms. Right. And because the blacks didn't uphold their part of the bargain or for their union, because a lot of these blacks, these Afrocentrics, especially this mixed guy who's trying to blame you light skins in your trauma. And you don't need to create your own group. You just need to be underneath the blacks and let them punk you. That's what this fool is saying. You know, and he in that video, he was basically saying that, well, a lot of you people, you know, you were raised by white moms, and you got those anti-black views from your white mom. That's a common false trope that the Afrocentrics will claim. That, and they're full of shit. They don't understand that. Well, why don't they talk about the absent black father? Why wasn't the black father there to basically insert a positive black, you know, a figure, a role model, a positive black image, being a hard worker, someone, you know, that dedicates to his family? There are black men who do that, that have interracial relationships. They have white partners. I see them on social media. Like I said, especially this younger generation now, you're going to see a lot more of them. But you do have black men who have non-black wives, and they have families, and, you know, and they're a good example for them. Shout out to them. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the absent fathers, the deadbeats, the ones who bastardize groups, right? The black community never holds them accountable. Why is that? Well, 75+% of their little community is a bunch of baby mamas, single parent raised households, right? There's no accountability when you deal with these people. They always got to put the blame on someone else. And they conveniently scapegoat mulattoes, and they scapegoat the white moms of these mulattoes. That's because it's a black female matriarchy, right? So the black women, that's their authority in their little group, their community, right? And of course, the black women, they serve the white man, okay? And so that's what this guy was talking about. Oh, well, because a lot of these biracials, you know, they're raised by white moms, and you know, they're raised by white moms, and so they got some anti-black views from their white moms. Like, they always spread that bullshit. I was not raised around you people, and there was no anti-black crap that was spewed from my mom. We learned this stuff dealing with you people in public, in the schools, in the workplace. We learned dealing how you people operate. We develop a general consensus. Now, for me, my thing is I tend to overgeneralize, and I know that's kind of a defect that I have, that I need to not overgeneralize. But even within this broadcast, this live stream, I would say not all, or I give credit to this group or that group, whatnot, these select people. So I think I'm doing better about that. I'm not saying all or generalizing all, but, you know, yeah. Yeah, this is what it is, man. This is what it is with this guy who's that's a convenient scapegoat. They try to say, oh, it's because you're raised by your white mom taught you anti-black. It's all assumptions. Like, a lot of you blacks are anti-black, but the thing is, you're raised by just black women in a black community, but a lot of you are anti-black. How do you explain that shit? There's no white female influence there. Was it a white woman who raised Candace Owens? I'm not a fan of Candace Owens. She's a hardcore conservative grifter. Or who's the other guy, the black guy? Brandon Tatum, Officer Tatum, whatever. I don't like that. He's another conservative grifter. He guarantee you he's raised by blacks in his little black hood. And you know, I don't watch. I'm not a fan of these people. They're raised by blacks, but people, you know, that's what I'm saying. So they blame white women, these Afrocentrics. You guys got to be aware it's an attack on you biracial people specifically who do not identify with blacks. This is why you got to create your own shit. And you have to understand they hoodwink you and trick you by calling you a light-skinned black. And a lot of light-skinned blacks, I'm not saying all, but a lot of them, they want to try to pull you in. And they'll try to say they're mulatto, but they're not fucking mulatto. Like, they'll try to pull you in to identify with them, to maneuver you back underneath blackness. My position here with my social media, my branding, is let you guys know you have another option. Do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Okay, they think they're slick. We see the strategy. We understand the Afrocentrics. It's not going to work. And now you got blackety blacks calling themselves MGM and mixed. They got a little bit of admixture, whatever the hell. You're not a mulatto. You can participate. That's fine. You could tune in, listen, drop a comment, support. I'll even collaborate with you. I'm open to the public. I'm a public person. This is good. But this idea where they're trying to hoodwink mulattoes and maneuver us and try to make us a captured group to serve the African Americans, not on my watch, as long as I'm up here. Okay, so I saw that guy with that whole, oh, you're raised by a white woman. And, I'm like, well, a lot of the whites, they didn't have an option. You blacks are bastardizing them. And a lot of these whites are upset because they're seeing white women with mixed kids and they're like, well, where the hell is the father at? Where's the where's the productive family at? The father, and you have white families and they see their, sister or their daughter or whatnot, their aunt or whatever, cousin who has a black baby daddy. They got mixed kids, but the dad's not around. They're like, that's an L, and it's an embarrassment to their family, to their lineage, to their line, in their society, in their community. Like, that's an L. Like, what the fuck? And then the blacks don't take no blame for it. They just perpetual victims, no accountability. Like, oh, nothing happened, No, that something did happen. You're not dedicating yourself to build a family. Something did happen. But you see these Afrocentrics, how they're going to turn around and blame it on the white woman, spreading their conspiracies and lies, saying your white mom raised you to be anti-black. No, no. People with common sense just navigated this world and realized a lot of you people got a lot of problems. I don't want your problems to be my problems. So I'm distancing myself. I'm separating myself. We're not the same people. Call it blue vein society, call it brown paper bag. I don't give a damn what you call it. I'm just going to let you know we're not the same. You're being divisive. Okay, you started it. So now what? Now what? I had to say that because I saw that video clip or the live stream. I was like, what a fucking cop out, man. I tune in to a lot of you little Golden Sphere characters, and even you people who claim you're not Golden Sphere, you're still Golden Sphere. I still listen to you. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. Why not? Just talking shit on this evening. Because, I'm not dropping names or anything, but I'm listening to some of the rhetoric. See, I don't have to talk about what you look like, dude. What you look like. I don't have to talk about that. It's funny when people talk about me, that's what always they got to talk about. And the guy who in the video, he's public. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm public too, so there's a respect there. I'll say that. There's at least I don't agree with any of the shit you're saying. I've told you that. I told this guy that he's basically irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. And he he took that to heart. He had to admit, when you're dealing with a guy like me, you're absolutely right. Kind of, I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing. Have fun over there. But I'll still watch, just like you're still watching me. Your little gay buddies are watching me too. I get it. But, you don't have any influence. This new generation now. We do not acquiesce and we're not trying to adhere to the sensibilities of Blackistan. Blackistan has been doing a horrible job with their allyship because they think they've already captured you, mulattoes. They think you're punks. Like you have nowhere else to go. The one drop rule. You just got to check black and identify as black. They really got a lot of you people punked out here. They think like that, like they already own your ass. That's why we're talking about this expanding this hegemony with Bantu hegemony through bastardization. They think they've already captured you and got you. Right? So when they see you speak out and speak against them, then they automatically, their kind of antennas kind of jump up and they're like, oh, you're anti-black. You're a bigot. I don't give a fuck what you say, boy. We're not the same group. Go keep your ass over there. If I need you, I'll let you know. Like they really got it twisted, thinking they can run up and like, no, we're not the same. Okay. Let me move on with yeah. Like I said, and I was going to mention earlier with the whole Hebrew Israelite strategy, right? What they do with the whole seed of your father, that is part and parcel of their bastardization strategy. The seed of your father, all that rhetoric, it's all black Hebrew Israelite rhetoric. And it basically spreads this black male supremacy. And it gives the black males clearance to sleep with any race of woman and to claim their offspring is black. Okay. So we have a black male who will sleep with a white woman, a non-black woman, and then it's a CDO father. The child takes on the race of, keep your Bible with you. Don't try to spread your little philosophies and your religion to the rest of us. Okay. I have no respect for that whole seed of your father ideology. It's unscientific. It's based off this biblical theory. Okay, that's your little belief system, your little Bible. That's on you. That's good for you. It's not good for me over here. Mulattoes over here, we're mulatto. Regardless if you have a mom that's black, you have a mom that's white, you have a mulatto mom, your father's mulatto. Okay, mulattoes are mulatto. I don't do the whole see to your father stuff. And all that see to your father, like I said, it's all black male supremacy pushed by these religious zealots like the Hebrew Israelites to push this black male supremacy, thinking they can sleep with Asian women, Latina women, whatever, and their mixed kids are still considered black. No. Nope, your kids are mixed. Okay. And they're basically justifying themselves dating out interracially. And they're relieving themselves of any commitment to their own group, their own partners in their own community, their own race. With that whole false logic of this see to your father crap. They're basically there's no accountability with them when you deal with them. That's why they make up these false doctrines and false ideologies and to justify their decisions. They can just say, "Oh, it's the see to your father." No, it's not. No. Yeah, then they want to alleviate themselves. No commitment and accountability to their own group. They abandon their own race, their own group to sleep with another nation. And then they want to claim the kids as black. That doesn't make any damn sense at all. They're basically male divestors, right? You're marrying into another group, another community, but you're still trying to claim the child is like black. It's like that rapper Forlight. No, excuse me. Pause. Shout out to Forlight. Content creator Fortlight. It's like the rapper, his name is Daylight. Let me share an image of him. Daylight. There's a rapper, his name is Daylight. He has a mixed kid by like a Arabic woman or something like that, Middle Eastern woman. And what's his name? He was on a DJ Vlad. DJ Vlad, was telling him, well, your kid's mixed, your kid's not black. He's like, oh, no, the kid's black. The kid's still black. This is him, Daylight, this rapper guy. Look at him. Okay. Yeah, and he's the guy who's pushing the whole weaponizing the one drop rule. Okay. Trying to say the see to your father, weaponizing one drop rule. And this is the game that they play. But he even said in that, I already did a whole video live stream on it. I'm not going to bring it up again, but Daylight, the rapper, even said like that he lives in an all-white community. Dude's got tattoos on his face and shit. He's one of these hardcore rappers, he's proud to be black, yet he couldn't commit to a black woman. Typical of them and their kind. He has a mixed kid trying to claim his mixed kid is black, even though the mixed kid's mom is not black. Make it make sense, man. Okay. And he lives in a white community. Of course you do. Of course you live in a white community and you have a partner that's non-black. Of course you do. You're a typical fucking Bantu. Like, we see your strategy. You want to bastardize these groups, move into their communities, and you want to live vicariously through the kid, claim the mixed kid is black. And, it's not going to work out, like, especially once they grow up and once they deal with these blacks and they realize, yeah, we're not the same. They're not going to blame the white mama with these little, fruity Afrocentrics try to blame the white mama, right? It's not going to work. Not going to work, buddy. Even like with Charleston White, I don't like the guy, but I do agree with his point, some of his points, as far as with biracials. Like, specifically, he talked about, because he has a mulatto child, and he talked about how he's raising his child to identify as a mulatto with other mulattoes. He's like, no, don't look at those blacks as your people. Your people are those mulattoes. I like the fact that he's the only black male that I see on social media that's boldly saying that. If I find the clip, I could share it, where Charleston White was saying that. I don't see any black male, because, like I said, part of their Bantu expansion is through bastardization. So they want to have these mixed kids and try to claim their kids as being black, right? That's how they push their influence out there. And Charleston White's the only guy that I've seen who's basically like, no, I'm going to teach my kid that he's mulatto. His group is mulatto. He's like, don't let these blacks trick you and fool you, because that's what they'll try to trick you and make you think you're a dark-skinned Bantu just like them. And then they'll turn on your ass. Look what they did with Drake. Didn't Drake, one of his lyrics, that the dark-skinned Bantus were like mocking him and laughing at him about. He said something about, I'm light-skinned, but I'm a dark-skinned nigga. One of his lyrics, you guys know more than me. I don't listen to Drake's, all of his music like that. I listen to the hits. I listen to the hits and stuff, but he has a line in one of his songs about how I'm a light-skinned nigga, but I'm still a dark-skinned, some shit like that. That's because he's hanging out with all these dark skins. They try to trick his ass, tell him he's just like them. Now look what happened. Look how a drop of a pin, drop of a hat, they turned on his ass and told him not like us. You motherfucking mulattoes never learn, man. Like, I'm just one guy with my story out here. But it's like, Jesus Christ, man. You people still think you're smarter or you're more hip or more down. Like, I don't get it. If that happens to Drake, that can happen to any of you people. Drake was giving them money, putting up all these rappers, helping these rappers out, supporting these rappers and shit. And it's like, look how they turned on him, man. That shit can happen to any of you. I'm just a minimal guy out here. I'm like nobody special. If I learned my lesson, I got my mulatto wake up call. Psh. And I know a lot of you guys have too. See, thing is with a lot of guys, I'll say now, yeah, with the males, it's just they don't agree like politically or how I position myself, maybe my my delivery, because they feel they're kind of more offended because I'm talking about their culture, how they were raised and shit like that. So because they're raised to use that kind of ghetto ass metric where they're tough from the hood. I don't give a fuck where you're from, bro. You don't come at me with the monkey ghetto shit. I'm not interested. Go stay over there where you belong over there. If you're mulatto, that's cool, but you need to keep that savage culture back where you found it. And see, because a lot of times they try to come over here and try to deal with me on that shit. I'm not having it. I'm the wrong guy. I'll just block you, get you up out of here, bro. This is the wrong spot. You can go do your thing and build your thing over there. People call it classism or whatever. That's, no. I give people chances and give people shots, but I think I've been a little too generous, to be honest with you. Is what I've learned with this social media endeavor. I think a lot of times I've been a little too generous and it's kind of bit me in the ass, so to speak. So I want to go do one more thing before I kind of drop the link. We're at like 2 hours into this. Okay. With Dr. Umar Johnson, right? Because I played this clip before, but like it's in conjunction with the whole seed to your father rhetoric, because one point, especially the Hebrew Israelites, the black extremists, they'll push the whole seed to your father rhetoric so they can claim to bastardize other groups, to claim hegemony, and they want to claim mixed people. That's the whole thing. They want to claim the mixed people as being a part of their group by way of mulattoes. They want to have access to these other races of women and claim the children to be a part of the black group. That's the process, the bastardization. They use the seed to your father rhetoric, but then you got that's weaponizing the one drop rule. But then you got Dr. Umar. They play both sides. They'll say seed to your father, but then they'll say, oh, well, your mama's black, so you're actually black. You're not, non-black. So they pick and choose depending on what time of the month it is, whenever their cycle, they'll pick and choose. Let me go to this clip here, share it with you guys, and so you guys can see what's going on. They pick and choose, and picking and choosing is just not working for me. It's just not working for me. Not only is the picking and choosing not working for me, it's not working for a lot of people. Let me get this banner up here. Unfair use. There we go.
Talking about race, you have to look at two criteria as far as I'm concerned. You have to look at your ancestral biological racial membership, right? David Ortiz is an African. Hands down, nobody will ever mistake him for any other race, right? But
yeah, David Ortiz. I think he's a football player. Let me do a quick search and see. I've heard people reference this guy a bunch. Or not football, baseball. Is that baseball or football? He's a baseball player. Yeah, he's a dark-skinned guy. I think he's like Dominican or some shit. David Ortiz. They always reference him. Oh, he's an African. Oh, but he identifies Dominican. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care. I don't watch baseball or even football. I don't watch any of that crap. Only fighting. I only watch fighting. That's it. So let's continue on with this clip.
The question I would have for David Ortiz, the Dominicans you're speaking about, the Cubans, the Puerto Ricans, or even American Africans. Are you psychologically African, right? So I look at Yachty.
Are you psychologically African? Right. This guy's still pushing this shit. This is old stuff, man. This stuff was cool for a lot of people 10 years ago. This stuff has been played out, bro. Like, but he's still going on with this grift.
You are biologically African. I am. He is. But are you psychologically African? Do you identify with your race of origin? Because guess what? You got people like Candace Owens. You got people like Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. You got people like YouTubian commentator Jesse Lee Peterson.
He calls him YouTubian. YouTubian. I don't get it. YouTubian, whatever. Jesse Lee Peterson, who's kind of a weird, kind of awkward fella. And like I said, with I don't really know anything that much about Clarence Thomas. He's Supreme Court Justice. And they say, because he's super conservative leaning, they say, yeah, Candace Owens is cringe. Like, she's like a just straight up grifter. She seems like she's very angry and shit. Like, you know, people say that about me too. I guess I'm angry, but am I grifting or? But what, Candace Owens, to me, I don't watch her, man. It's so, the grift is too obvious. You know, it's not, I'm not her target audience, Candace Owens. Okay. And then who else? I already mentioned Brandon Tatum, guy like that. And then, yeah, Brandon Tatum's another grifter. Guy's just too whack for me. And then, all these guys, these conservative grifters, man, they're, you know, all they want to do is like own the lib and shit. Their audience is mostly white, but you're black. And like, it's like, don't you realize that you're like the clown puppet, like the minstrel show, dancing for these whites? Like, what the fuck? Like, but they're getting paid. See, that's the thing. They can, it's America, right? They can whore themselves out and get a paycheck, you know?
They are biologically black. They do not psychologically identify with their people at all. So when you tell me African, when you tell me you're African, you're saying two things to Dr. Umar when you're talking.
Well, it's political. He's saying if you say you're African, because it's Pan-Africanism, because when Africa, the continent, you have multiple tribes. Like, I mean, I don't know the numbers, but they have hundreds, if not thousands. I don't know the numbers, like I said, but they have so many tribes. And a lot of these nations are divided, even within. I've been to Ghana, but in Ghana, they have like various tribes. I think the popular ones is Ashanti, Fenty, and I forgot the other names. But Ashanti is the one who gets most of the kind of the shine in the Gold Coast and in Ghana, West Africa. And then you go to Nigeria, they have the Yoruba, and they have the Igbo, right? Igbo gets a lot of shine. Like, there's so many tribes across the continent in these different countries that's like, but so when he's saying African, it's a political statement for Pan-Africanism. That it's like, it's almost like, bro, how are you gonna win? Like, that's why they really love the one drop rule, because they operate just like the Anglos, these Pan-Africanists, because the Anglos are recruiting, like I said earlier, these Arabs, these Hispanics. They need to increase the numbers. It's the same with these Bantu Pan-Africanists, Afrocentrics. They want to weaponize the one drop rule and claim mulattoes as part of their African family to use us as tools for numbers. That's it, guys. Wake up and smell the coffee, guys.
To me, when you say I'm an African, that means you're telling me I know I'm biologically black, but I also want you to know, Dr. Umar, I'm psychologically black. I identify with my race. A lot of African people don't identify with their race. Can we segue over one time? What about the mixed race Africans? My mama white, my daddy black. My mom.
What about the mixed race Africans? What about us? First off, I'm not African. That's where you fucked up already. And this guy, this Yachty guy, isn't he like a rapper? Yachi, his name is. He has this kufi he has on. That's like West African kind of the fabric, the style. I know that, doesn't this guy have a song like when he's on an ice rink talking about Minnesota. It's cold like Minnesota or some shit. I forgot the song. It came out. It's kind of a stupid, corny song. He was dancing on an ice rink, talking about it's hot like Minnesota or something. I don't know. You guys know. What I'm saying is, I'm looking at him. I guarantee you, most of his partners are white women, which that's his business. I don't care. Like I said, I don't listen to his music. I don't know the guy. I'm just watching this clip because these pro whacks are talking about mulattoes, specifically Umar. I'm talking about here. This Yachty guy, I'm not saying nothing negative or bad about him. I don't know the guy. I don't know. I'm just looking at him. I'm pausing right now because I'm saying, I guarantee you, based off that song he has where he's dancing on the ice rink, where his locks were like red or whatever. I'm like, this guy seems like he mostly messes with white women. Okay, but he's like the Pan-African or whatever, the African stuff, whatever. I don't care. Okay.
I'm a black, my daddy white. Are you mixed race sister?
Yeah.
You are? Which parent is black? Now, you know what's funny about
the woman saying, oh, her mom's, she's like, oh, are you mixed race sister? Yeah, no shit. We're gonna see what she looks like right now. I already talked about this before, guys. I'm talking about it again. Okay. And they always use mixed people to use us as like guinea pigs and test subjects to push their black supremacist agenda. They want to use mulattoes, and all they have is this kind of black acceptance bullshit, this carrot on this stick to be like, you want to be welcomed in our group? Okay, you got to kiss our butt, right? And like, that's it. And like, you can play that with some of these women, okay, but a lot of them, they're gonna have buyer's remorse once you leave them as baby mamas. And a lot of some of the women, they look stupid when they come to guys like me, and they look kind of dumb. It's like, well, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Like, my suggestion is go back to that man, your black baby daddy, and work it out with him. I don't know why you come to me. Like, there's other mixed guys who might be cucks or simps. You can help, they can help you out. I don't know, but I think I'm the wrong guy for that. Honestly, I'm sorry.
about that? You know what I was going to say a minute ago, but I didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
I didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable. This guy is such a, what's the word? A narcissist, right? He puts her on the spot and targets her, uses her as a case study. Well, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Well, you're doing it right now. You're pointing out the fact that she's mixed race, and she probably wants to identify these blacks. She's like an engineer, or it says a producer working on their show. You're talking about black issues, and you want to like put the spotlight, the target on her. We know what you're doing, Umar.
Going to say you have Africans as light as her, and look, she is. But see,
look at her. Yeah, she's a producer. She's like white passing. She could go anywhere in Europe. She looks at her hair is straight, whatever, light skin. In Africa, everyone would call her a white woman. She's not black in Africa. I know. I've been to Ghana. No one will ever call her black. She's white in Africa. And most places in the world, in Latin America, South America, and like I said, even in North America, for her, it would just be the culture thing. They could probably look at her and be like, yeah, you're mixed or whatever, because her eye color and some other features, maybe some freckles or whatever, based off the curls of her hair texture. But she's mostly white, like white passing. Maybe her mom is mixed. I don't know. She said her mom's black, but her dad's white. But I'll play this again. And she says she identifies as mulatto. She doesn't say mulatto, but she says she identifies as half black, half white. So she identifies as us, mulatto. But Dr. Umar is going to flip the whole goalpost of the CDO fada. He's going to say, oh, well, you came out of a black vagina, so you're black. You see, this is the game they play. Watch.
The question, she could pass if she wanted to. Let me ask you, Queen. And you said the father's black.
No, my mom.
Mom black. Oh, so you came out of black vagina. You black. Well, let me ask.
You see that? Oh, so your mom is black. So you came out of a black vagina, so you black. You see how they flip and switch the criteria? This is the point I'm trying to get to, you guys, as far as this whole Bantu expansion and the weaponization of the one-drop rule and how it pertains to mulattoes. They will always flip and move the criteria to fit their agenda, their political agenda, which is to maintain mulattoes as a subordinate class underneath dark-skinned blacks, to fill, to do their bidding, to adhere to their sensibilities. And they want to use you as a political pawn so that they can get more proximity to whiteness. They want to use you as a bridge. and you get nothing in return. That's the thing. Like you get the Drake treatment. It's funny. Like they're not paying you. That's why I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? I'm not even getting paid by you. And the entertainment is very, minimal, to be honest with you. I can go get entertainment from other sources. That white people entertain me anyways, as well as other people who entertain me. What the hell? You're not the only people who can play music and rap and shit out here now anyways. What the fuck? Or it's like I said with the sports, like I watch cage fighting and shit and a lot of like white competitors. So what the hell? Like I don't watch basketball like that. Whatever.
Yes. How do you identify though? Yes.
Look at her. Cute woman, Mulatta. She says she identifies as half black, half white. Yeah. But I'm saying is with Dr. Umar, with guys with Afrocentrics, they always target the mixed women, like a Phil Advise show, Tariq Nasheed, because if they can conquer the women, they feel like they can conquer the males by getting access to the women. This is their Bantu expansion strategy.
Okay, I'm half black. Ain't no such thing as half black. You don't mix white milk with chocolate milk and get half chocolate milk. Now, I want to go a step further because you do have a Caucasian parent and an African parent. But in the world we live in, although they allow you.
But in the world we live in, I don't live in your world, boy. I don't live in your world, boy. I'm going to let you know. I don't live in your world, homie. I don't know what world you're living in where you can rob your own people of donations. You're not building damn school. You've been promising to build a school for these people for over a decade, 10 years. I don't know what world you live in where you think that's acceptable. You got all this jewelry on, spending all the donation Cash App dollars on a strip club for the conscious strippers. You see, he's trying to trick your ass and tell you the world we live in a white supremacy world and the one drop rule and all this shit. I don't live in your world, boy. I don't live in your community. You're not my people. Okay.
You to check mixed race and biracial on those boxes. As you know, the world don't operate that way.
No, the world does operate that way. And I just said, you go take your ass to go to Ghana and we'll find out how black you really are. Go to Uganda, Zimbabwe, and go to South Africa, okay? We're going to find out how black you really are. You see the woman on the screen. Nobody, no proud person of African descent, whatever tribe they're part of in any of those African countries, are going to claim her as a member of their tribe or being black. They're like, you're a white lady. You got a white father. You're not black. Don't let this African-American, pro-black, Afrocentric grifter, Dr. Umar, trick you. See, but they can only pull that shit with the young people, the college students, and then also with the women. Primarily, their target's mainly the women. They can't pull this shit on dudes who like me. And I've met Umar Johnson. I met the guy in 2016 before he did this interview. And that was 2016. Yeah, that was like, 9 years ago? So I met the guy. So it's like, 9 years ago, that was a different time for me. A lot of us, we've had this pro-black phase. Okay. And I learned a lot. I wouldn't change it because I learned a lot. Like I'm at where I'm at now because of that phase I was in and what I've examined in those circles. And I realized it was really weird, man. This anti-mulatto shit, none of these other mulattoes are questioning or pointing it out. Like they're way too comfortable spreading propaganda about mulattoes. It's going to be, getting challenged as we speak.
In your heart of hearts, you don't think she could fall for white? No, she could. That's why I'm asking her. Yeah. At the end of the day, how do you identify?
Are you psych?
Yeah, I already played this on one of my other live streams. I encourage you guys to go back and kind of check it out. But yeah, we basically don't want to kind of be redundant, repeat myself. The whole thing is the weaponization of the one drop rule. And how with the whole see to your father concept, how they always flip and switch the criteria to fit their political agenda, which is to maintain mulattoes as a subordinate class underneath blackness. They'll try to weasel their way in with different, rhetoric and different strategies, but it's the same, maintaining the status quo. They want the lighter skinned males, mulatto males, to be subordinates to darker skinned males, but they want full access to the women. And I'm telling you, we see the same strategy that Anglos exhibit in regards to how they deal with the border, with the south of the border, with these Latinos. They're cool with the Mexican males coming up here, helping them build their infrastructure, helping them with the construction, building all these buildings, right? And even serving in the military. They got all these Mexicans in different parts of the sectors of the economy. They want the Mexican male labor, but they want the males to be underneath their leadership. But they want full access to the Mexican females, and so that they offer them assimilation. They offer them assimilation. That's what it is. So they allow them into whiteness, just as I do with the Arabs. Okay. Mulattoes have to do their own thing. Wake up and smell the coffee. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. I get it. You gotta do something. Okay. Make a blog, make some videos, connect with some people, do something. Cool. What do we got here? Let me see if anyone's in the house. Shout out to MLS people. Should date each other. I like your content. You don't post here on YouTube, but on TikTok, you post a lot. I like your content. A lot of good takes. A lot of good takes. So shout out to you. Let me share the link if anyone. I'm going to stick around for a minute and then bounce if you guys want to hop up on here. Looking at some of your comments here. Yeah. Like I said, this channel here is kind of shadow banned, so it's like no biggie. I want to make sure you guys know this is still operational, but my other channel gets more love within the algorithm. And yeah, the individual shared this with me over on those clips I shared earlier over on TikTok. And yeah, TikTok, like I said, I don't post much over there because they shadow ban, they censor all my shit. Like when I match the energy, people put comments, I reply. My comment gets, flagged, but their comment, that's anti-mulatto doesn't get flagged. I'm like, fuck this shit. If you see it's a rigged game, why participate? That's my whole philosophy. You clearly see it's rigged. Like, why continue to participate and complain when you just do your own shit? Like, that's the whole thing with the whole, like, entertaining the community. It's good that we're doing this. We need to get this information out here. So I want to signal to people we got our own stuff going on. But you see the game is rigged. You see how they uplift the aesthetic, the mulatta aesthetic of the women, of like Miss Mulatta and all these mulattoes. Like they claim all these non-black women, mixed women, as black. But when it comes to the men, they're like, oh, I don't know, you're light skinned, you're not really a dark skinned black. Or like, well, what the fuck? Like there's a special, like different criteria. You see the game is rigged. Why participate? And my whole thing is when I talk, like I'm saying to the males, to the light skinned guys, why do you continue to participate? It's like Stockholm syndrome. Like you can't do your own shit. You still feel like you have to like operate around them. It's weird. You can't just brand and do your own thing, detach yourself from them and just start your own shit. Like all you know is like blackness and being from the hood. So like you can't give it up, but you're going to keep taking that shitty deal is what I'm seeing. Cool, guys. I know I'll probably get a lot of flack for this, as I usually do when you state your views on social media, but I encourage people, like, if you talk about my points that are inaccurate, or because I said a bad word, or this word was offensive, or this or that, you'll get over it. We're all adults here. We might say some stuff we don't agree with that might be kind of offensive, but God bless America. You'll get over it. But like I say, if the people who detractors try arguing my points, my philosophies, or anything I'm saying that's inaccurate, try that. But often what I've been seeing on social media, it's all this weird ad hominem attacks and how I look. And the number one thing is none of the pussies cam up. I'm like, it's one thing if you're on camera and you're talking crap about me, then it's fair game. I'm like, okay, it's good. You give me something to work with. But if you're like some troll and you're talking shit, it's like, man, it's so pathetic and weak. It's just too gay for me to even engage. Talk about how you don't agree with anything that I'm saying. Talk about that. Okay. Like I mentioned, I referenced a guy earlier. I saw his live stream he did a couple or like a few days ago. And I'm talking how they always push this crap about how your white mom. It's because you biracials, you have white moms, and your white mom raised you to think a certain way about blacks. No. We started dealing with you guys in the community and wherever we worked at or whatever school we went to. And we see on social media how you people behave towards mixed people. And we're like, okay, yeah, yeah. So that's it. That's nothing to do with the white mom. Keep pushing the false narratives, and then you'll cry and complain when people push false narratives about you. It goes around, comes around. See, but you have certain people who don't want to take accountability. They can dish it out, but they can't take it, right? They want to they want to give you nasty energy. You match that energy. They want to cry foul. That's some bitch shit, man. Like that's it's too weak to even like respect that. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I'm gonna close this out, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. And you'll see me before, so happy holidays. But yeah, you're gonna see me again pretty soon because I can't stop blabbing my mouth up here. I don't know what it is, but if you guys like the content, hit the like button. Before I even hit the live stream, I saw at least a dozen of you guys already hit the like button, which I do respect. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you guys, the supporters and whatnot. Yeah. Post a comment, share the video if you like it, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.